On this week's episode, if you went into this movie thinking that the shape-shifting dead guy was the biggest monster in this film, you'd be wrong. Now grab your tickets because we're getting to the theater. I hit the wrong button. I'll be cutting that out.
God damn.
Welcome to Getting to the Theater. I'm Adam.
I'm Erica.
I'm Etta.
I'm Jeremy.
And today we're talking about 1988's Beetlejuice, directed by Tim Burton.
I forgot this was a Tim Burton film. Although looking at it, I do realize. I've only seen this movie twice, all right? And one of them was for this podcast, so.
Yeah, we usually do watch them twice anyway to take notes.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of him for the first time.
Burton?
Yeah, last night.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I've never really looked at a picture of the dude just because, I guess I'm not really, I'm not a big Tim Burton fan, but I've never really seen a picture of him. But I saw a picture last night and I'm like, yeah, I get it now.
Hey guys, I'm going to make a movie about a ghost.
Oh. Is that what he sounds like?
Oh, he's a goofy little guy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not what I imagine he looked like.
Really? Because that's
Yeah.
kind of how I pictured him. He looks a little bit like Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
He pulled what's her name?
Helena Bonham Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had her for years.
Yeah,
It's
well.
the hair. I think they just share the hair.
His hair is always
What?
crazy.
Just a bunch of follicles going in between the
And
two.
you know what?
Yeah.
I think Michael Keaton channeled some of that to make Beetlejuice's hair.
Yes.
It is kind of like he just got electrocuted. Which, Keaton, who plays Beetlejuice in this movie, he had a big part in creating what the character looked like, acted like, and he improvised 90% of his own dialogue.
Really?
And he's only in the movie for less than 15 minutes.
That little?
Mm-hmm.
The titular Beetlejuice.
The titular Beetlejuice. He's on screen for less than 15 minutes, and most of his dialogue is improvised.
That's crazy.
So the all right, babe, all that stuff. I really hope that the speech he gives when they're asking about his qualifications, I really hope that's improvised because that's my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's wild. I didn't know he was a comedian until I saw this movie as well.
Yeah, like if you ask me about Michael Keaton, my first thing I think of is 1989's Batman,
Yeah.
which is also Tim Burton. But even people didn't want him to play Batman because it's a serious role, and he was known as being a comedian.
What other comedic things was he in?
The two I think of is Multiplicity and Mr. Mom.
World-renowned multiplicity.
Well, it's not your kind of movie.
Well, what? Is it a cop film?
No, it's it's a
okay.
movie about a guy who is kind of getting bored with life, and he meets some rich guy that creates clones of him that can help him with his daily life.
And this is a comedy?
Yeah.
This feels like it could be a Jim Carrey comedy.
It's not a great movie.
Oh. Is he a good comedian outside of Beetlejuice?
I'm not sure. The other movie I think of with him is one where he's got a terminal illness and he's dying.
And that's a comedy?
No,
Oh.
but that's the other movie I think of. I don't know the name of that one. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
And I literally only think of Beetlejuice and Batman.
There you go.
And Vulture from Spider-Man.
Yeah. Came a lot later, but yeah.
Porco Rosso.
He was in Porco Rosso?
Yep.
He was Porco Rosso.
He's the titular Porco Rosso?
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Porco Rosso.
Porco Rosso.
So this movie also has a very young Winona Ryder.
Very young. Is this her first film?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
Hold on.
Because she's like 15 in it.
Let's see what year Heathers came out.
Etta didn't realize
I think Heathers came out the next year.
the number of movies she had seen that Winona Ryder was in.
I really didn't.
Really?
I think I was just face-blind to it, honestly.
You were like, this girl looks familiar.
Yeah, we were going through it. I'm just like, she was in Stranger Things, and it's just like, that was her? And I'm like, yeah.
She looks exactly the same.
Maybe it's just the bad haircut in Beetlejuice.
Oh my God.
I can't get over it.
That's one of the first things I said when we put it on yesterday. Her haircut is so bad.
So bad.
Oh my God.
But like
The bangs. The bangs are the worst part.
She really embodied goth emo 80s teen. Like, somebody based their whole personality off of Lydia.
Lydia Dietz.
There were a lot of those after that movie came out.
This is her third film, by the way.
Her third?
Her third film.
Yeah.
Her first film. Sorry, Jeremy.
I was going to say she was also in Edward Scissorhands that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
That was 2 years later. Her first film was Lucius in 1986.
Lucius Malfoy?
Close.
Oh.
And after that, she did Square Dance, which I've never heard of either of those films.
I have not either.
Nope.
The thing I think about Winona Ryder is Alien Resurrection, actually.
She was the milk girl.
She was an android in that movie, and in the Alien universe, android's blood is milky white. Yeah, it's like a plot twist at some point in the movie. They find out she's a robot. Her parents are played by the amazing Catherine O'Hara. Technically her stepmom.
Catherine O'Hara really embodies the bad mom role. Like, she has played so many bad moms.
There's only 3 you can think of, though.
I've only seen her in 3 things, and she's a bad mom in all 3 of them. But she's amazing in all 3 of them.
What 3?
Both Home Alones.
Yep.
Okay.
And Schitt's Creek. She plays Moira.
Oh, her as Moira in Schitt's Creek is amazing if you give her the chance. She is this character taken to 11.
Yes.
Oh.
Like, if you take this character and make her poor, that is Moira.
Great show, though, if you ever get the chance.
So good.
And the father of the family is the real monster of this film. One Mr. Jeffrey Jones, who I always think of from Ferris Bueller's Day Off as the principal.
Oh, is he the principal?
That
He's the one
was
he's the one that's chasing Ferris throughout town throughout the entire day.
Oh.
Yeah. In 2001, he was found in possession of child pornography, and he is a registered sex offender.
Yet still not in jail.
Yeah, he somehow got out of that. But luckily, with the new Beetlejuice coming out, I think it comes out later this year.
October.
He's not in it.
Thank God.
And I think, like, even in the trailer, it starts off with like his funeral. Like, no, there's no chance he's going to be in it. He's dead.
That's good.
Not even his ghost, hopefully. Or they could have just recast, which I would have been fine with.
Do we know if Alec Baldwin and
They are not.
They're not?
They're not on the cast list.
Oh.
What's her name?
Gina Davis?
Yeah, she made a comment about it. She was like, "Yeah, I'm not in the movie."
Oh, is she like, because I'm too old?
No, I think she said they didn't ask her or something like that.
Oh.
Oh.
That sucks.
I mean, yeah, that does kind of suck.
Yeah.
Because the first two characters we meet in this film are Adam and Barbara. Is their last name Maitland?
Yeah.
They're on a little stay home or staycation. They're redoing their house. They're played by Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, we mentioned already. And they're exchanging gifts in the attic where Adam has his little...
Is it their anniversary? Is that why they're exchanging gifts?
I assumed. I don't remember, but I assumed it was like an anniversary or something.
Or a little staycation gift. We should do that.
Staycation gifts?
No, just give gifts when we go on vacation.
Oh.
My mom used to do that.
You just want gifts.
I love gifts.
The vacation is the gift.
Right.
No,
Thank you.
my mom would be like, all right, we're getting new shirts, new clothes. You get like a new DVD player or something for...
You're scoffing at it, but you've literally got me necklace and earrings when we've gone to Beaufort the past 2 years.
For vacation gifts.
Yeah, it's
all
not
right,
necessarily a vacation gift though, but
yeah, you're right.
I mean, the other day I did make the comment of we were going to go pick up Chinese food for dinner, and I did say it was a hot little date, and all we were doing was going to pick up dinner.
I mean, time together is time together.
Yeah.
Right, and I live with this woman, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of stuck with her, like Adam's stuck with Barbara.
Forever.
Shout out to good relationships.
So she gifts Adam. Oh shit! Does anyone remember what she gifts him? Is it a book?
No, it was something for the model. It was
Oh, you're right. It was for the model.
was it a truck? Was it that little red truck?
It might have been a little red truck. I honestly forgot. I didn't write it down in my notes. But and then his gift to her is wallpaper.
Yeah, which having taken down wallpaper, that is the worst gift anybody would kill me or give me. I would literally might have to kill myself if someone gave me wallpaper because I would be, not to exaggerate, I would be very upset.
Mortified.
Yikes.
The amount of wallpaper that was in this house when we bought it.
It was tongue oil.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
What? What is tongue?
I'm going to go ahead and assume it's for the model.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, because he's got this giant model of the town.
What if
In
he's
the-
using
in
it as
the
like
attic.
lube, but just like a like an initiation to weird freaky time.
Maybe he did make that whorehouse.
Oh, Gina Davis does have that catty remark at that point in the movie.
Where
she's like, Adam, when'd you make that? I didn't make that. So he's out of nails, and he's got to run into town real quick because he owns a little hardware store, and it's next to his barber shop that has this old chatty barber outside named Bill. And as they walk up, he goes, "Hey, Adam." He's like, "Hey, Bill." And he's running inside. He goes, "You need a haircut?" "No, I'm good." And he's like, "This guy came in for a haircut, and
we
he blah
missed
blah
a
blah."
key point.
What?
Jane arrives.
Oh my God! This woman is a menace. The realtor.
Her sister?
Yeah, I assumed it was.
They're related. Yeah,
because she mentioned something about family.
Yeah.
Later on, after the funeral, this woman is awful. Like, she pulls up to the house. They're watching her from the attic, and Adam says, "It's your turn to deal with her." Mm-hmm. It's like, that means this woman's coming around a lot. Mm-hmm. And she just comes in the kitchen door. Like, Barbara gets to the door, and before she has the chance to open it, Jane's letting herself in the house. No knock, nothing.
Jane probably still has the realtor key.
Probably, but she didn't use the key. You see her come into behind the door and open it, and then she's like, "Oh, I got this guy from the city. He wants to offer you
$260,000 for this land."
And that's 1988 money. We did the math.
Oh my gosh.
That was
$700 and something $1,000.
Yeah, it was almost $1 million for that house. And she's like, "No, Jane, we're not going to talk about it right now. Don't go offering my house to people right now. We're on vacation." And Adam's in the basement, and he goes over to the window, and Jane is poking her face through the window. He goes, "Oh, just hi, Adam." This lady is a troll.
Yeah.
Not a troll, a gremlin, just trying to get into their house.
Which is weird because she presumably sold them the house. Is she just trying to like double her commission?
She's trying to get fired? Because you can fire a realtor at any moment.
Well, I mean, she's probably already fired.
No, she doesn't get the chance to fire her. They go for a little swim before they can do that. But when they go into town, there's a little dog. You see this dog, and when Adam passes the barber Bill starts talking. He goes into the store. He grabs exactly what he needs real fast, and he comes out. And on his way out, Bill's still just sitting there talking. Like, he never stopped. And Adam just goes, "Bye, Bill." Gets in the car, and then Bill's like, "Oh, okay. You weren't listening to a word I was saying." They're leaving town. They're in this yellow Volvo station wagon, and they're going across the bridge. And that little dog you saw earlier, and I think this was a setup from Jane.
Yes, a full ploy to sell the house.
I don't.
It's a little too convenient.
Well, this dog is in the middle of the road, and Gina Davis is driving. She's looking straight ahead at this dog, and this is completely Adam's fault.
100%. This accident is so Adam's fault.
He's like, "Look out!" and he jerks the wheel, and they fly over the edge of the bridge, and they're hanging there, and the dog is standing on a plank, and they both do that slow turn, look behind them, see the dog, and then the dog's just like, "Well, I gotta go."
I don't think physics work like that, but...
Well,
yeah,
I mean...
that one dog leaving that was weird.
Yeah.
That dog killed them. Well, Adam killed them.
Also, was the creek even that...
They couldn't get out the car. The way the car was sinking, they had enough time.
Right.
And they were both wearing their seatbelts.
Yes.
And the windows were down.
Right.
It's not like when they tell you if your car crashes in water, let it fill up. Otherwise, you won't be able to open the door.
Exactly.
Their windows were down. It would have filled up instantly.
Yeah.
Unless it is that deep and it just... But...
I feel like...
Either way, the next time we see them, they're walking back into their house, soaking wet. Mm-hmm. A fireplace lights itself, and when they walk back in, they're cold. They're like, "What happened? How did we get back to the house?" They're down by the fire, and is this where they find the book?
Yes.
And this is a good little laugh for me because he goes, "It says book for the recently diseased," and Barbara says deceased. He looks at her, deceased. That gave me, that was funny to me because I am incredibly dyslexic.
Right.
I read shit wrong all the time. So that was just perfect. And I want to say Adam does something similar to that again in the movie at one point. But I might be remembering it wrong.
He didn't get an A in English.
When they don't remember how they got back to the house, they don't remember how the fire got lit, they try to leave. Adam says, I'm going to go back down to the bridge and find out what happened. And he steps out of the house and he ends up on Arrakis. He's on the set of Dune.
Yeah, with the sand.
With the worms.
The sandworm.
They're not dead. He's high. Yeah. He's full of spice.
Full of spice. Why are you looking at me?
Or is it Saturn?
It's Saturn.
Is that what Saturn looks like?
It's the planet Saturn.
And apparently there's rings around it in the background.
Beetlejuice mentioned it later on.
Oh, yeah, that's
He
right.
does. He does make a Saturn.
They literally said, y'all went to Saturn, I went to Saturn. And I'm just like, that's Saturn? Why? Why do they end up on Saturn when they walk out of the house?
Well, who knows? Drugs, Cocaine. It's the 80s.
Tim Burton.
It's a movie about dead people. But when he back up onto the porch, because he steps out and he's in a desert and there's the big black and white worms. Barbara says, you've been gone for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. For him, it was like 5 seconds. And she says something about she was reading the book.
These are some slow readers because this book is not that thick and they take their time going through it.
Yeah, it jumps ahead a couple months and they act like they haven't read any part of the book.
Yeah.
Like when they find out the instructions on how to make the door, it's like, you just found that? You've been sitting in this house for months with nothing to do.
Maybe
apparently he didn't read well. Because remember the dad, when he got it, he's like, this reads like stereo instructions.
I thought that was something else.
That was the book he gets at the end of the movie. Yeah, that was funny though.
Oh, so it wasn't the...
Yeah, it was a book made by the same author.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's even got, I think, the cover of the recently deceased handbook on the back of the one he's reading.
Okay, that's probably where I got that confused.
Yeah. And it says on the cover, from the author of the handbook for the recently deceased. Wow. It's like Living with the Dead or something
they're not
like that.
even supposed to know about that book.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe the book is incredibly hard to understand.
Maybe, but like as a dead person, shouldn't you like instinctively?
Nope. Apparently not.
They didn't know they were dead. Also, I got a little backwards. They don't find the book until after the sandworm thing. I got a little out of order.
Is that not what we said?
No, I said they found the book before he stepped outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is the first time we see Beetlejuice. It kind of like goes underground and it passes through the dirt and the pipes and we're in this creepy little basement and you can hear Beetlejuice talking for the first time, but we don't actually see him. And he says something about, better find a job. And he starts looking through the paper and he finds the obituary of the Maitlands.
Yes.
And this is all like model work, and you got to backtrack just a little bit. The opening credits are an overhead view of what looks like the town, and it slowly transitions into the model set in the attic, and it zooms in on the house, and that's right at the beginning of the movie, and I forgot to talk about it.
Yeah.
But we were watching it wondering, is this a model or is it actual?
It looks like a model because it's a little too still.
Yeah, it is. Like it passes over some people, and they look frozen in time. But then it cuts to a funeral, and then it does a transition from the actual funeral scene to Adam creating a model of the funeral on his set in the attic.
And he's complaining that he can't see the graveyard
that well from the window?
Yeah.
It's nice that he can at least still interact with his arts and crafts. He's not too bored. He just can't leave his house.
But he's going to run out of things. Like, how is he going to build when he runs out of supplies?
He can just tear it from other parts of the house.
Well, that's true.
Good thing he got that tongue oil.
You're right.
No.
You're right.
I think Beetlejuice got a hold of it because that motherfucker is running his mouth off every scene he's in. Oh my god, the Maitlands are talking about how they're stuck in the house, and there's a funny shot of them waking up in bed the next day, and Adam rolls over and drags the blanket off of Barbara, and she's floating above the floor. She's not even in the bed.
Which is weird because I'm like, how does that happen? Is she like floating up and over?
They're ghosts. It's like when you roll over in your sleep. I mean, granted, I didn't know ghosts slept.
Well, I mean, they're still probably operating on like a normal schedule.
Do ghosts have sleep paralysis demons?
Definitely.
Maybe.
Does it look like Beetlejuice?
Yes.
Probably. Or worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be Jeffrey Jones.
Or the sandworms.
Oh.
Yeah, those sandworms are awfully hungry for ghosts.
Also, like, what's the purpose of the sandworms? Are they just there?
They're just there. They don't really say they have any kind of purpose. They're just like, yeah, if you go outside, you're on a desert, and these sandworms will get you.
Ask Tim Burton.
Definitely cocaine.
Completely random. I remember telling Etta that the scene was that they go to Saturn when they walk outside, and she was just like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know how I know it's Saturn, but I know it's Saturn.
I feel like I recognize.
And then we watched it again, and Beetlejuice says it was Saturn. That's how I knew.
But in the background, you can also see a planet are rings around it. You can kind of see in the background
There's
that
like
it looks
planets?
like a planet. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it because I never knew that until
I didn't
you
either
said it.
until he said something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I definitely have to go
Never
back and rewatch
put
it.
2 and 2 together.
No, me neither.
Apparently Saturn is a desert planet and has sandworms.
Damn.
Don't want to go there.
At all.
But Jane comes to visit right after the funeral, her and her daughter. And I think she's just stopping by to look at the house one more time to remember that commission she just made from selling it.
Because it's like literally like immediately after the funeral, because she's still in like funeral black.
Yeah.
And she's like, let me go look at my dead sister's house. Tear, sad eye, money.
I made bank on this.
She
Too
definitely
bad
made
Barbara's
bank.
dead. This is where we meet the Dietz because they hear moving trucks, they hear construction. You have Charles. I almost said Moira. Delia
Yes.
and Lydia. So dad, daughter, stepmom.
Do we know what happened to Lydia's birth mom?
Nope.
They never say.
No.
They never mention her.
Like in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, she's adopted?
No.
No,
No,
that
no,
woman
no.
is her stepmother.
Yeah, it's her stepmother.
Oh.
Because there's a point in the movie where Charles tells her, something about like, be nice to your mother. And Lydia is very quick to say stepmom.
That's right.
Yeah. But Jeffrey Jones, Charles, always referred to her as her mother.
Maybe like Delia's been there since like day 2,
I mean, could be, yeah.
Yeah.
And Lydia was just so hardcore goth.
I mean, that could explain part of why she is the way she is, though.
Yeah.
Because I never
Put the 2 and 2
put
together.
2 together of why she was so dramatic.
This
Well, I
girl is
mean-
so dramatic.
I mean, yeah, a teenager,
Yeah,
of course.
like 15, you don't need a real reason
Oh
to
my
be
gosh.
dramatic. I mean, I painted my room blood red and had black curtains when I was 14.
Yeah, but did you walk around with freaking
funeral veil?
Funeral veil.
No, it's mostly because my mom wouldn't let me.
Like
but
there's that scene where they're sitting down and they're eating dinner like that first
Yep.
night, and Lydia has a full blacked out almost funeral veil over her face. You can't see her. How's she eating this food? And she's just wearing these gigantic hats.
maybe like every time they cut away, like she like lifts up the veil, stuffs some food in her mouth, and then like, goes about her business.
Could be, or she's like, oh, I forgot to take the veil up, and she's got a mouthful of veil.
But I also feel like some of her sense of fashion comes from Delia, because Delia was sitting beside her with the freaking glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Tied her up.
Yep.
And I was like, they're both dramatic.
I think the first time we meet Delia, she's also in all black.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
is.
Charles is the only one that wears any color.
Yep.
But I will say though, Charles very much loves his wife, very much loves his daughter. He knows that they're both kind of off their rail a little bit, but he doesn't tell them that they're wrong for it.
He's very much a man who just lets his people do their thing. He's like, as long as they're not hurting anybody.
Yeah, he's like, look, I drugged them out here to live in the middle of nowhere for my well-being. I'm going to let them do them. That's my family. I love them. Let them figure it out with whatever they need to do.
But they would definitely thrive in New York City. Like like taking them out of New York City and putting them in the country of Connecticut is like
I don't know.
Is that not
mistake.
where they moved from? Was
Yeah.
New York City?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they moved from New York.
Yeah, I was about to say his boss Maxie is in New York, I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
I don't know. Dahlia's art was apparently just garbage, so I don't know if she
Hot
would
Oh
thrive
my
over there.
gosh. Her
Dangerous as you will.
Yeah. She has that great line when they're moving her art in. I wrote it down in my notes somewhere.
Wait, we'll get there. We're jumping ahead.
Oh, you're right. We're not there yet. I thought we were there.
No.
So when the Dietz move in, that same day we meet Otho,
Yeah, I love Ortho.
played by a Mr. Glenn Shaddix, who I
R.I.P.
don't really know him from anything. Yeah, he unfortunately died in 2010.
Do you want to tell him how ironically he died?
So it's unfortunately not as I had my memory a little wrong
Oh,
from
so
when we were
it's
talking
not?
yesterday. It's not nearly as ironic as I remembered it being.
Aw.
So there's that scene in the movie with the snake banister and Otho falls down the stairs.
Right.
Glenn Shaddix died falling in his kitchen. He had
Oh.
surgery on his ankle.
I originally thought or I was originally told,
I remember
fell
it
down
wrong.
the stairs
Yeah.
to his death.
Oh, well, that would have been hilarious. Well, not.
I mean,
That would have been ironically hilarious.
It would have been a little hilarious.
Respectfully to the estate of Glenn Shaddix. Shaddix, sorry. But yeah, he fell, unfortunately. He broke his ankle while he was doing a movie. He had surgery.
Not to be a little shade-ix.
Get out.
Am I right?
And he didn't like his wheelchair, and he was walking around and he fell, and he unfortunately died.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Did he hit his head against the counter?
I assume. I don't know him from anything. I mean, he was in Heathers.
He really, genuinely, watching him in this movie, he could have been a Bond villain.
His voice was amazing.
And he had the sass and the little eye things, and when they're dancing.
I mean, if he had not been playing I don't want to call him an interior decorator, because he was kind of like a jack of all trades kind of guy.
Yes.
He's like, oh, I do this, I've done that. But just, if you take this man and drop him in a serious film as the main villain, I would have bought it. Mm-hmm. Strictly on the way he speaks.
He also could probably do anything Nathan Lane has been in.
Oh, he and Nathan Lane would have been funny together.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yes,
a combo
absolutely.
that we missed out on.
If he had like a little cameo in like the Birdcage.
Or like the producers.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen
Yeah.
that one in a long time. Yeah. He was in All Real Monsters.
As who? Is he the guy?
He was Guard Monster.
Oh,
I don't.
never mind.
Were you thinking the teacher with the red heels?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't that guy. Like I said, I can't think of anything off the top of my head I've seen him in. And looking at his list, he was in a lot of cartoons from our childhood, but that wouldn't tell us much. He was in.
Don't judge me.
Do you want like a book?
Oh,
Yeah,
hold
but
on.
I didn't feel like getting up.
Okay.
Hold on, I found something that he was the mayor in The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's where I recognize his voice.
Is he just a Tim Burton guy?
Apparently, that's 2 Tim Burton movies I'm looking at right here on
Okay.
his filmography.
It's like an Adam Sandler situation.
His first movie was Skate Town, USA, which I have no idea what that is.
At all. It sounds like something. It's like, what's that one movie that Ron Howard's in? American Graffiti.
He was in another Tim Burton movie. He was in Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes film.
That really bad one with his wife and Marky Mark?
That movie's bad.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never
You're
seen
not.
any Planet of the Apes.
You're that one. You're not missing
the
anything.
first one?
No, he
Or
was
the
he was in the remake from 2001 with Mark Wahlberg.
With Marky Mark.
I feel like I like that one, though.
Really?
I'll cut that out for you. Don't worry about it.
Rude.
You know,
He was Senator NATO, so he must have been an ape.
I feel like this is probably a stay tuned. It might be a stay tuned, guys.
I have no regrets.
I have seen every Planet of the Apes film except for the newest one, Kingdom of Planet of the Apes.
Apparently, like, that one girl from Witcher is having like weird fuck me eyes with an ape.
No.
Yeah, they're not fucking.
Thank goodness.
But like, apparently their chemistry in it is like a little too strong. So everyone was like, "Are they going to sleep together?"
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Or is it?
No, it is.
Okay,
No.
yeah, well,
Yes, it is.
There's no or.
This episode getting hella out of pocket.
Oh my god.
that's what happens when we film so late.
It's not even late.
Yeah, but normally we film or we record at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's like what,
That's
9?
Yeah.
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 I mean, I'm down to record anytime.
Well, yeah.
We know.
Damn. All right, so where are we?
If there's an open microphone, I will be there. I just gotta rope you fools into getting around the table with me. Otho comes in, and he is like Delia's best friend. And like I said, he's like a jack of all trades.
He's
He has-
honestly the fourth Dietz at this point. The
yeah,
way
because he
pretty
like lives
much.
with them.
Yeah.
We only ever see him at this house. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not really that much of a big deal. We only see the Dietz at this house.
But man's
But
is
they live there. They live there.
comfortable. Like he was walking
Yeah.
around in a robe.
Yes. No shirt on under that robe. Comfortable.
Because there's no way he's driving all the way from New York to Connecticut, which is like an hour and a half and some change, to like, there's no way it's happening.
No. But they want to go through, and they have cans of spray paint, and they're going through and marking the walls with what they want to change. And there's a really good part where they open a closet, and Barbara is in the closet hanging there, and their reaction is, oh, this closet's so small. And they just basically grab all the clothes, and Otho just moves them, and she just slides right out of the way. They don't see these ghosts, and the ghosts are like, shit, we can't scare them properly. They find the wedding dress and the tux from from the wedding, hanging in the closet.
Do we know how long they've been married?
We do not.
No. Okay.
That's never brought up, I don't think. I don't even know how old they are. Based on the actors, they're probably, in their mid-30s?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they say something about their age when they're
In
just
the newspaper?
like they were trying to have children?
Oh, yeah.
Like in the beginning when they were talking about their staycation and anniversary, and
They might have.
he
But
was
I
like,
just don't
worry
remember.
about it. I
I
don't
mean,
remember.
It might have been
'cause
one of
they were
those things
like,
where it's
"Don't
like,
worry
hey,
about-
we're not that old. We're still
Yeah,
young.
exactly.
Or they're like, we'll try to, again, to have baby,
We
like,
got
while
plenty
we're
of
on
time.
here.
We got plenty of time.
I feel like they were in their 30s.
Yeah, they must have
Yeah.
been. Yeah.
Plenty
Like
of time.
our age?
Could be. I mean, we're all in our early to mid-30s.
Yeah, mid-30s, I would say.
Rest in peace.
That's a hard mid-30s, though. Like, I feel like we don't look like as old as they look like.
That's because
Well,
that was 80s
they're also
times
not
30s.
30 years old playing 30-year-olds.
Oh, well, maybe.
They were 30 in the 80s.
That's true.
Right.
Cocaine.
This movie came out before any of us were born. I mean, I was born the next year, but
True.
I'm the only one here that was born in the 80s.
Old man.
Shut up.
You were barely born in the 80s.
Yeah, I was around for the last 9 days of the 80s. Yeah. Great time. Wish you guys could have been there. But they're walking through the house, and they open the door to the office, and Barbara is standing there with a big knife, looking all pale. Adam's headless body is on the floor, and she has his head in her hand. And again, they can't see them. And this is where Charles jumps in. He goes, "No, I know what you're doing. You're not going to do it to this room." And is this where Delia has that great moment of, you drug us out here to the country, and if you don't let me express myself, I'm going to lose my mind, and I'm going to take you with me.
Yes.
Yep.
And Charles is just like, okay, we'll just leave this room alone.
Mm-hmm.
And she just instantly is just like, love you. And they walk right by him. And he kind of just puts up with Otho and his foolishness.
Like, well, it's like, I feel like it's how you and Etta get along, It's like,
Yeah, but Ed and I are kind of like the same person.
yeah, that's true. Like, y'all let me do my bullshit, and then we just roll with it.
Yeah, but Charles has to deal with 2 of them. We're only there's 2 of us against 1 of you.
That's
rough.
true.
Charles doesn't have any backup. Lydia's not going to help.
Otho does seem kind of incompetent, though. He seems like he's just there, just doing shit.
Yeah.
He's like here to experimentate. It's like, I got this open field. I'm finding things. No
It's
one's
not
here
my
to stop
house.
me. Yeah.
It's not my money.
Not my consequences.
Look, I can do whatever the hell I want here, and
He's
she's going to
just
let me.
Adaptive
He's just there.
to whatever situation.
They're like, damn, we really need to
He's
do
like,
this random thing.
He's
Hey, Otho,
wild.
can you do it?
Otho is insane. He's
like,
great.
I got this.
Yeah, because
I'm
they
a-
basically ask him later in the movie, hey, can you do this? He goes, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll make it work.
Yeah.
He's like, I found this one thing.
And that great way he spoke.
He knows everything there is to know about AC repair.
He probably spent a summer doing it, because he spent time doing everything.
I spent a summer repairing AC.
Ortho has definitely killed a man. Like, we're all in agreement, right?
Of course, Charles, I can help you get rid of a body.
Or knew somebody who knew how to cut it. But
Yeah.
he was definitely involved in a murder.
Yeah. What
He was
fuck
probably
was
like,
it?
that blood's going to stain that carpet. I know how to get that out. I spent time as a stain remover.
Jesus.
He's run drugs. This man he's been around.
He lived a life before he met Delia.
Yes.
Definitely.
Or maybe WoW, because maybe Delia has also dabbled in. She seems unfazed by a lot.
They all seem unfazed by a lot.
Yeah,
That
there's a
is
lot of shit in
true.
this movie that I'd be a little less comfortable than they are. But they try to leave the house again, Adam and Barbara,
Yes.
because they're like, we need to get these people out of our house. They can't see us. We can't scare them. So they step out of the house again, and boom, they're instantly back on Saturn, out with the worms. And I think they just turn around and go right back in.
When do we see the Beetlejuice commercial?
That's coming up later.
Oh, okay.
Right now, they're having dinner, and
Isn't that? Go ahead.
no, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, isn't the Beetlejuice commercial like the next thing?
It's coming up.
Yeah.
It's very soon.
Okay.
But right now, the Deets are having dinner, and Lydia has a comment of they're probably going to die from all this MSG that's in the food.
Because Laura's gonna call him Moria.
See?
Delia's like, I can't believe we're eating Cantonese in Connecticut. They don't even have, what is it, Szechuan?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was. I always see the containers and I thought Chinese food, but it's Cantonese.
It's Cantonese.
And
Which
she-
is, not to be racist, but is that not
Is
the
it?
same thing?
Don't ask me. I've never had Cantonese food. I don't know what Cantonese food is.
Well, I feel like there's a Cantonese region of China.
I don't know.
I thought Cantonese is...
Only one of us been
I
to
don't
China.
know.
Yeah, I wasn't in that part of China.
Okay.
This time on the Out of Pocket cast.
It's a variety of Chinese spoken, but it's certain parts of China. So Canton, Hong Kong, and Macau.
Sure.
I'm probably not pronouncing any of those wrong. Right.
No.
We apologize to all our Chinese listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're I can barely speak English, so I'm not even gonna try. But yeah, so they basically are having a form of Chinese food by the look of what we Googled
But I love how she was like, I can't believe we're eating Cantonese food
in Connecticut.
in Connecticut instead of...
Did she say we couldn't get good Cantonese food?
No,
No,
she
said,
just...
Just
is there
Cantonese
no-
in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said, "Is there no Szechuan up here?"
Oh, okay. And then Lydia has the MSG comment, which MSG is delicious.
It's so good.
It does nothing but add flavor to your food.
So good.
So 80s. What an 80s comment she made.
Yeah, 80s times.
Wild. She does a little bit more complaining here. I think this is where she talks about wanting to make a dark room for her camera.
No, that's when her father's like, hey, we'll turn one of the rooms.
Yes. Charles offers her a dark room. Yes. This
But
is...
in retrospect, that sounds a little weird. With Jeffrey Jones being,
Oh, God.
yeah.
Why?
Oh, no. Lydia, here's your dark room. It's in the basement.
Yeah.
Why are there chains and locks on the door?
Stop. We are not turning this into 50 Shades of Tim Burton.
But Adam and Barbara are up in the attic flipping through the book for the recently deceased. And this is, again, shows they haven't been going through the book because as they're flipping through it, a Beetlejuice ad falls out.
Yep.
Like a newspaper clipping. Or it might just be one of those things where he said he needs to find work. He put that there.
Yeah, but it's weird that he cut out... There's only 2 Beetlegeists in there. Why wouldn't he leave that third Beetlegeist?
He said he can't tell you his name.
I was going to say, yeah, he's not allowed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I honestly just think that he is a reincarnation of Rumpelstiltskin. Because you also can't say his name.
Okay.
True.
It could be... This could be a fun little parody story of that.
Though the commercial, though, didn't have his name on it.
It had it up there.
It had it, but they didn't say it.
Okay.
But it's also not spelled phonetically.
It is not.
Did Juno put the curse on him?
Sorry?
Juno? Did
She put him in the in that.
She locked him up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it the cemetery or?
Yeah, he's locked in the cemetery of their model. But I think Juno might have done that. She mentions it later. We haven't met Juno yet, where we are in the movie.
We're close.
Great character.
She's long dead.
Okay. But they find his ad, and his name is spelt. Is it Beetlejuice?
It's spelled like the Is it a star?
Oh, I don't know. Is there a star?
Yeah.
Called that?
Yeah.
Every time I see it, it reminds me of that one vodka. Not to sound like an alcoholic, but
What are you drinking right now?
Yeah. Beetlejuice
Riesling.
is.
That's another space reference too.
Yeah. Beetlejuice is a star.
I did not know that.
Huh.
Okay, but yeah.
didn't
So
either?
No, I didn't know that either.
that I believe
Is
is how.
it a star close to Saturn?
Why are there so many space references?
Maybe he's really into astrology.
Was there space-related things going on around that time in the 80s?
When did we go? Oh wait, no, that was the 60s.
I mean, it was the
Yeah, that was this...
But
What
yeah,
was
so
the Challenger explosion?
that's
gotta be around the time.
early '80s, I think.
Oh,
But that's
well, that's maybe when he started working on this.
Yeah, but that's where the name Beetlejuice actually comes from, I believe.
Oh, I thought
And
he
then,
just
like,
made it up.
It's spelled like this.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it sounds phonetically like the other
Beetlejuice.
spelling. Yeah.
Yeah, which is even how the title of the film is spelled. It's spelled like how you say his
How'd you
name.
figure that out?
I've known him for a while.
What?
You know, Jeremy just knows things. Like Ortho.
Jeremy's our ortho. Otho. Sorry, no R.
no.
Yeah. It's Otho. Ortho was like.
You're wearing black and red.
Oh my god.
Fit in the vibes.
Fit in the vibe. Black hair.
But, yeah. I don't know why they spell. I feel like they might have spelled it phonetically for the title of the film because otherwise people would have been like, "How the hell do you say that word?" When
Yeah.
they saw the title.
That's fair.
That's true, but they also do call him Beetlejuice.
Yeah, they do say
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
But they say that to Juno.
Yes.
When by the time they actually meet Beetlejuice, they know his name because they say his name to meet him. But they're trying to like what about that Beetlejuice guy? And she's like, shh, don't say his name. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
In the ad, I don't remember if it was on the paper ad, but I know on the commercial, when you see his name, it's spelled like the star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every time you see his name in the movie, it's spelled like the star.
Yeah.
Every time. The only time we see it not spelled like that is just the title of the film. So after they find the ad in the book, it's the next day when they're bringing in the artwork, the sculptures.
Yes.
And that she has this big, almost like a Venus flytrap looking thing. And they have it on a crane, and they lower it too fast, and it pins her against a wall. But she was screaming like, "No, this is my artwork. I made this." And it pins her against the wall, and she goes, "My artwork is dangerous. You think I want to die like this?" They're trying to get her unstuck. The thing also smashed through a window, so that guy's fired.
Yes. This is honestly the worst working crew I've ever seen.
Yeah, she tried and tell one guy like, it's a sculpture. It's mine. Not that I bought it. I made it. And he just has this look on his face that he's got a 1,000-yard stare. He just doesn't give a fuck what this woman is saying. And he just throws it on a table haphazardly. Lydia is outside taking pictures of the construction. Or not construction, but the movers.
Watching her take these photos makes you really want to see her photos because they're not good. The angle, the way she's holding, how fast she's clicking. I'm like... Ma'am.
She's not holding still long enough for the thing to capture the photos. All of her photos are going to be blurry.
Right?
But this is where she sees Adam and Barbara in the attic window. Mm-hmm. And Barbara mentions it first. She's like, that little girl saw us. And I says, honey, don't be silly. They can't see us. So not only did he get them killed, he's also gaslighting this woman from beyond the grave.
80s.
Jane shows back up.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite realtor. I believe this is also her last time in the movie. But she gives...
Thank God.
She gives Lydia the skeleton key, which is apparently the master key for the house. She tells her it'll open any door in that house. And I think the first thing...
Is that a thing?
A master key for a house?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've never lived in a house with a skeleton key a little bit before my time. I found skeleton keys in houses before as a kid, but...
Probably not anymore. It's not common.
No.
Is it because they don't have keys for doors in houses anymore?
No. I imagine it's because modern locks are more sophisticated.
Oh.
I mean, a skeleton key, you can literally look through the keyhole and see into the room. You can't do that with modern locks. There's too many mechanisms in there.
Okay.
I assume. I'm not a locksmith.
We need to call that one guy who hates Master Lock.
Oh, yeah. This is the part where they see the TV ad, by the way.
Okay.
When they're up in the attic after they see Lydia, the TV turns on, and Beetlejuice is riding like a mechanical bull. And he's dressed like a cowboy, and he calls himself there's a specific term he uses to describe living people. Anybody remember?
Your favorite part, the commercial. What did he call himself?
A bioexorcist.
A bioexorcist. Yes. He's like, come on now.
It's my mom's favorite part.
And Barbara wants to call him, and Adam says, oh, wait, let's check the book. Mm-hmm. And this is where they find the instructions for how to get to the other side, and it's draw a door. Mm-hmm. And he
makes
goes,
my skin crawl every time.
Does it?
The chalk against the brick.
Oh, okay.
But also, I'm very confused. Like, why do you have that giant piece of chalk? He just pulls it out of nowhere.
I mean, maybe he uses it to like draw lines or something.
He does
for
have
the
big though.
It is. I mean.
Well, I mean, he's got a giant thing of chalk, but they don't have a vacuum.
Which let's circle back to that one point, because the vacuum is in the garage, which is underneath the house.
And they mentioned that she can't clean properly because the vacuum's in the garage.
And I'm like, okay, maybe the garage is not attached to the house. But I'm like, when they pull out and you show the house and the garage is right there under the house, that means they gotta take the vacuum from the garage, pull it up those flights of stairs.
Well, I assume, based on that comment, that you can't get into the garage from inside the house.
But the garage is attached to the house.
Yeah, but they can't get in the garage.
That's crazy.
And they're ghosts. They can pass through walls. They just can't leave the house.
That's crazy.
So apparently they can't go through floors either. Weird. Or they have a detached garage we didn't see.
Like a second garage?
Yeah.
No wonder this house went for so much.
The parameters of this house.
Ghost rules. What
Yeah,
are they? How do they?
ridiculous.
How do ghosts work?
Ghosts.
How do they work? Oh, he draws the door and
Forgets the doorknob.
Yeah, he draws a doorknob and goes, oh, you gotta knock 3 times. And he does this awkward little 3 knock thing. Like, even in the moment, he feels silly doing it. But dude, you're dead. You're a ghost. Try anything. And it opens up, this big green light comes out, and they go through, and they're in a waiting room. This is where we get the first of many suicide jokes in the movie. But there's all these people that are in the waiting room.
I was very unprepared for how many suicide jokes were in this film.
Yeah, I don't remember any of them from when I was a kid. But there's a guy who swallowed a chicken bone. There's like a Vegas showgirl who was cut in half. Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume like a magician's assistant that went wrong. Mm-hmm. There's a guy with a shrunken head. There's my favorite one is the guy who's just a crispy skeleton.
Yes.
And he's sitting there smoking. He offers Adam a cigarette. And he's got a completely normal voice, which makes it even funnier. Mm-hmm. Like, he doesn't sound gravelly.
He's like, do you want one?
You want a cigarette? I'm trying to cut back myself. That was my favorite one. He's completely a puppet except for his face. The lady behind the counter is like green, and she almost looks like a beauty contestant.
Yeah, I think because her sash says Miss something 1923.
Yeah, and she's totally green. Mm-hmm. And she tells them that they don't have an appointment, that they're going to use up all of their like helping hours. I forget what they actually called it. But even in the fucking afterlife, you can't get a break.
Yeah, like, why is there so much, like,
bureaucracy?
Yes, in the afterlife. Why am I, like, still working when I'm dead?
Right. I want to chill. Because the lady tells them, look, you are in that house for the next 125 years to haunt it. Mm-hmm. Hopefully the house doesn't get demolished in that time or, heaven forbid, burned down. What are they going to do? They're going to instantly get eaten by sandworms. And they mention that they don't want to be in that house for 100 years. And Barbara says, is this what death is like? And the lady behind the counter is like, well, this is what your death is like. And that's what his death is like. His death is like. This is what her death is like. And if I had known that sooner, I wouldn't have had my little accident. And she holds up her wrist, and she slit both her wrists. And everyone starts laughing. It's like, holy shit.
Like, where's the funny?
1980 times.
But she tells them to go see their caseworker, Juno. And this one guy who looks like he got ran over by a truck, and he's on like coat hangers on a string, comes in, we're going to go this way. He goes, how do I look? I look all right today? I'm not feeling so great. I'm like, no, you look good. You look fine. He goes, thanks. I've been feeling kind of flat. And he zooms away, and there's this little thin cutout in the wall, and he just, whoop, and he's gone.
I love him. It's one of my favorite parts.
But it was weird, though, because, like, in the background, there's this one guy who's, like, hanging by a noose throughout.
Oh, my God,
Yeah.
yes. He's on, like, the same pulley system, and he's zooming through, and they're just swinging this dude. And he's just, like, throwing papers on people's desks as he goes by. That was another good one.
Yeah.
Another suicide joke. This is where they meet their caseworker, Juno. Mm-hmm. She is played by Sylvia Sidney.
What a name.
Yes. Shockingly, she's been dead for over 20 years.
Man, never would have
guessed that one.
I don't recognize any of the things she's been in, but her very first acting role
was in 1920 something. She sounds like a silent movie star.
You are so fucking close. Yeah. 1926. Yeah. And it's called The Sorrows of Satan.
Nice.
Which is great, because we're talking about a movie about the afterlife. So Juno is basically telling them, like, look, this is your problem. You have to fix it. Oh, missed something, though. They're walking down the hallway, and this is where they come across the room of exorcised souls, which they're just spirits that look more decrepit. Is that a good way to describe them?
Yes, but to be fair, everyone looks more decrepit than the Maitlands.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone looks like how they did when they died, except for the Maitlands. They are not dripping wet, which was a choice by Tim Burton. He didn't want his actors to be wet the entire time they were on screen, which makes me think in the
continuity.
Thank you, continuity of the film, that one can choose to look like what they want, because when they start stretching their faces out later, I feel like those people in the waiting room haven't gotten their assignment yet, so they're stuck like that while they're in the waiting room.
Yeah, because you can't haunt a bus that's been in a crash.
Apparently, you have to haunt a building.
Yeah.
I just like how lost souls are depicted the same way, because it reminded me of the Scrooge movie where he opens up the window when Moriarty, or not Moriarty, good lord, this is
Which
not
Scrooge
Sherlock
movie?
I'm terrible with names. I can't remember his name. It's one of the older actors, though. But he opens the door, and the guy's leaving, and there's, anyway, souls. And then, like, Hercules... Like Hades.
Oh yeah,
like, it's always
the
like
river?
green and floating,
Yeah.
like and disembodied. I don't know. It's just funny how lost souls are depicted pretty
Constantly.
much the same.
They always look like that one painting with the screaming man. Just
Yeah.
The one I was thinking of is Etta is the one that stars George C. Scott. He was in Doctor Strangelove, and he was in The Exorcist 3.
Ooh, I've not seen either one of those films.
They're old movies. But anyway, when they go down this hallway, they peek into the room with the exorcised souls, and the janitor just comes up behind him. He goes, "Those poor souls have been exorcised. Now keep walking." And he pulls the blind down to cover it.
He's like, it's death for the dead.
Yes, he does say that. It's death for the dead. Absolutely.
That's a creepy motherfucker.
Yeah, he was a little spooky, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you're dead and then have to be a janitor for the rest of your life, I'd
be pissed too. Oh, look, I'm
Yes.
dead and I still got to mop these fucking floors. And these floors aren't even. All the water's running down there.
right?
He just really likes cleaning.
Hopefully.
Hey, maybe that's his shtick. So they walk through a door and they walk into this very modern looking set, like modern architecture and design. And they look around for just a second and they realize this is our house, but it looks completely different. All the walls look like they're this gray stone. The fireplace is super modern now. The floors have all been redone. All the furniture is different.
They have this great red bar in the corner.
Oh, that bar is nice. Yes, that's the one. That's George C. Scott.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm bad with names. Terrible with names.
I could remember his last name was C. Scott.
Old white man.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. He was also Patton in the movie Patton way back in the day.
Gotcha.
And this is where they actually meet Juno. We got a little ahead of ourselves earlier. And she's always smoking. I think in every scene we see her in, she's got a cigarette in her hand.
Which makes sense because she sounds like she smoked a 40-pack a day.
Well, hell, the woman's, probably in her 70s when she's doing this? If she was acting back in the 20s, this is 88. Looks like she's in her 70s or her 80s.
And her throat is slit.
That's what's funny. And near the end of the scene with her, and then they're back up in the attic, she takes a big drag off the cigarette, and she's like, look, and the smoke is billowing out of her neck. Someone murdered this woman.
I mean, well, you know.
Or
it's
suicide.
another suicide joke.
That's a heinous way to do it.
Who's
Isn't
slitting their throat to go?
Juno. Okay, can I get a slit throat to go, please, with a large fry? But Juno is telling them, look, you got to haunt this house. Did you read the book? Everyone keeps saying, did you read the book?
Yeah.
Also, everyone in the waiting room has their copy of the book. And the Maitlands forgot theirs.
Fucking idiots.
They also couldn't read the fucking book. They've been in this house for months. But they realize when they get back to Juno in their own house, and they say, well, how long were we in there? She tells them they were in there for 5 months? 3 months. Thank you. 3 months. So the whole house has been redone. That means no spooky hauntings were going on. And they still have not been in their own attic? The Deets?
It's locked.
Well, they couldn't get... Well, what? Lydia has the key.
Oh, Lydia's a dumbass.
Yeah.
But there is no way, if we had bought this house and there was a room that had a locked door, my response would not be, oh, well, we just can't get into that room. No. I'm breaking that fucking door down.
I got a drill. We're going in.
Well, I thought they gave her the key to shut her up, though.
No, Jane gave Lydia the key.
And Lydia was supposed to give it
I
to her
thought
father.
gave it to Delia, and Delia threw it in a thing,
No.
and then later on, when am I making
Lydia
this up?
still has it later.
No, but
No, Lydia is the only one that has the key.
Wait, when she tried to open the door, Adam knocked the key out of and it just went
that's
flying.
right.
Yeah.
I'm confusing
Yep.
it with Coraline.
We don't know where the hell it is now.
Different
Well,
Tim Burton
it
film.
landed on the floor. I assume she still has it.
Hey, at least I'm in the same realm.
Wait,
of movies.
is Coraline Tim Burton?
I think so,
I think so. Yeah.
Like produced or directed?
Produced, I think.
I don't know. I've never seen Coraline.
It's good. You would like
What?
it.
I've heard it's good. I just never got around to watching it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually seen the whole thing.
But she tells them, look, you got to find a way to get them out of this house. Scare them. Do something. And they're like, well, what about that Beetlejuice guy? And this is where Juno says, but don't say his name.
Oh no, it's not Tim Burton.
At all.
Oh, it's not?
It's Henry Selick.
Is that the same? Oh, wait. That sounds familiar.
Does it?
Here, is it Selick or is it Selick?
Is that the same guy that did
You know I can't pronounce things.
Window in the Wild?
Yep. And Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
And James and the Giant Peach.
So it's
Did
Tim,
he do Kubo and the Two Strings?
It's Tim Burton adjacent.
Yes.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Tim Burton and Jason.
Well, yeah, because so Tim Burton probably like produced it.
There's 5 degrees of Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Add it to the list.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be
And
an
Fight
episode.
Club.
All right. Maybe.
Juno basically tells them, look, he was my assistant, but he went rogue. He started doing things his own way that we don't do. I basically locked him in your cemetery.
He was like, I don't want to do paperwork, which is fair.
But
As a person that
assistant
does
to
work.
what, though? Like,
I mean,
What is she doing?
what?
Is she like she's a social worker, right? Like
she
essentially.
is a social worker for dead people.
I love the running gag of this football team.
Oh, but we don't get to meet them yet.
We haven't met them yet?
We don't meet them. We don't
okay.
meet them until they go to
That's
her
later
office.
Okay.
The football
good.
team is funny though. But I think they use the football team just enough.
Yeah.
Like they don't over. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh fuck, the football team's back. It's like we see them, I think, in 2 separate scenes in the movie.
Which is good
It's
because
perfect.
if you think about that football team a little too much, it gets a little sad because they're like, these are children.
Yeah.
I thought they were adults. I never thought they were children.
Like, for me, I thought they were a high school football team, so I'm like, these
Them
are like...
boys are big as hell.
Yeah, they're grown ass men.
Y'all wait! Did y'all
Those
not
are
see these
college
guys?
football players.
And that means that Mo's 22.
They're big as fuck.
At Mo's 22.
Those are grown ass.
Those
men.
are babies.
Either way, they're dead.
Oh.
But Juno tells them that he's locked in the cemetery. Don't contact him. He does not work well with others.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, "Oh, okay, no, bad."
And they immediately do it.
So
It
she
doesn't take
wasn't
long.
very helpful at all,
At
in my
all.
opinion.
She tells them again, just read the book.
She was very vague. Like, it was like,
No.
please just give him a little info.
No, I think if they would just fucking listened and read the book, they would have figured it out.
Because they've had months to read the
They've been in there for months.
What's the point of the caseworker if they don't tell you shit except read the book?
Well, I think it's also maybe a commentary on...
The DMV?
Yeah, a little bit on the DMV.
Bureaucracy?
A little bit of the DMV, a little bit of social work.
Rip.
Rip whoever killed Juno. When she tells them that Beetlejuice is in their cemetery, it kind of does a little zoom in on the town from the point of view of this fly. Mm-hmm. And the fly lands, and then you hear Beetlejuice like, "Hey, get over here. Hey, come here. You want a snack?"
You sound just like him.
Thank you. And all you can see right now are his hands. Apart from the commercial, that's the only time we've seen Beetlejuice. And his hands pop up, and he's like, "You want a snack? Hey, come here." And he pulls out a Zugnut bar?
Zagnut?
Zagnut?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Me either. It's
Is it a
1988
real?
bar.
Is it a real thing?
It might not be. It might be like for show.
Well, it might be kind of like how, like, everyone's seen a Crackle bar, right? You
Yes.
see them at Halloween. They're like a little
True.
Hershey Crunch bar almost,
Yeah.
but they have a little red wrapper. In the Lost World Jurassic Park, there's a scene where they're eating a full-size Crackle bar. Never in my life have I seen a full-size Crackle bar. I've also never seen a Zagnut bar.
But
It's
why
real.
would you want to see a full or eat a full size?
It's legit.
It's a real thing.
I've never heard of that. That looks disgusting.
It looks-
like it's made of cream corn.
It looks like a reverse like Butterfinger.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Wait.
But also, I would love to eat a full-size
Need to
Crackle bar
find
because I
one.
enjoy Crackle bars.
Oh no!
They're like Nestle Crunch bars.
They're
they
the
have
right
a 4.4 rating.
Get the fuck out of
Out
here.
of what?
Can we find them
5.
near us?
Who's eating these?
I've never heard of these things outside this movie before.
Oh my god!
Oh, wait. You got to hear this.
Please, read some reviews for the Zagnut bar.
No, I want to read what it is.
Oh.
Combine crunchy peanut butter with toasted coconut
Well,
Oh,
you got me
no.
out.
for a taste you won't forget.
I
Yeah,
might
you
need
won't
to try
forget
this.
nasty.
I might need to try the Zagnut. It sounds like
This
sounds
fucker
like
right
Chico
here.
Love
You
coconut.
like coconut?
Chico stick. He
like Chico
hates
sticks.
coconut.
What's
But
a-
you
what's a
love Chico sticks?
Okay, wait. I can't argue because I also don't like coconut, but I love a pink drink from Starbucks.
Yeah, but that's coconut
That's
milk.
flavoring.
what a weirdo.
But it's still coconut.
It's coconut milk. You're fine. That's not the same.
Okay, it's coconut.
Damn, that ain't bad.
Chico sticks are covered in toasted coconut.
Hate Chico
Ew, no
sticks.
thank you.
Yo, Chico sticks are fucking delicious.
So
dog.
you would probably like that. Well, you don't like peanut butter like that, though.
Actually, I think Chico sticks also have peanut butter.
I think they might. What the fuck? This whole relationship is a lie.
Do you even know this man, Etta?
I don't know
she was
what
tripping.
type of coconut he likes
She was
other
tripping
than
when I ate that
toasted
Cheeto
coconut and coconut milk for curry.
Oh my god.
Well, you can't really taste the coconut milk and curry.
Yeah,
But you know what you can taste coconut in? That Zagnut bar. And
That fly really fell for it, though.
and that fly, I have never felt bad for a fly before. Before we started recording this podcast, I was trying to kill one with a vacuum. But I felt bad for this fly because fucking Beetlejuice grabs him right when he gets near him, and you can hear the butt, help me. And he's just like, never felt bad for a fly before in my life.
How long has he been in the cemetery, though? Like,
I think he's been there since around the time the Deets died because he says, "Oh, gotta find a job," and he's flipping through the obituaries.
oh, okay.
So he might have
like,
gotten
recently
fired.
Okay.
Recently.
Okay.
So it's probably been less than a year.
Maybe that's why he's like
Looking
not
for a job.
decrepit or anything.
Yeah.
He let himself go.
I mean, he is kind of decrepit. He
Maybe
does look gross.
he was,
Just
he was
nasty
already-
to begin
Originally,
with.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he was gross. He was
Yeah.
a nasty dude. Charles calls his boss Maxie in New York, and he's like, "Didn't I always make you a lot of money?" He goes, "Yeah, you always made me money, but now you're out there in Connecticut.
What does Charles do?
No fucking idea.
No idea.
You think?
Generic 80s
I
businessman."
thought it was like product development
It might be because he is having that pitch meeting about a
Yeah.
spiritual
or property, not product.
Property.
Develop. Yep.
because he wants to make like a
Why
a
don't you
ghostly
just sell
theme
the
park.
land?
Well, he wanted to get away
That
from the
he's
city.
living
That's
on?
why he bought the house.
No.
Yeah, I mean the ghosts are in his house, so he doesn't want to sell the house because then he'll lose whatever crazy scheme he's cooked up.
He doesn't know the ghosts are there yet.
At this point, no, he does not know yet.
But that's the
Lydia
only thing.
mentioned them though.
It's actually this scene where he
Yes.
sees them for the first time, but doesn't know he sees them
Oh, okay.
because he's on the phone with Maxie. And Maxie hangs up, and Maxie goes, "Putz." So Maxie's kind of pissed that he left New York City.
I saw this and saw Maxie, and I was like, this could be Lando from Star Wars. I can't remember Lando's real name, but
Billy D. Williams, who is also in Tim Burton's Batman.
I feel like they could have cast Billy D. Williams as Maxie. Never would have missed it. They have the same inflection, the same slightly greasy look. I was like, this is the same man.
Slightly greasy.
Yeah.
Except for he's black.
Yeah, but we
There's
know how Tim Burton
there
feels
ain't
about black
no
people.
black people in this movie.
Except for that mover.
And that one football player.
Oh, yep. The one football player, I think, that has the great line at the end of that scene with them. I'm not going to
Yep.
say it yet.
Okay.
I'll let you say it when we get there.
So good.
Maxie, the actor who plays Maxie, Robert Gault,
I feel like he could play Harvey Dent.
God is a terrible last name.
It's Goulet. So I might be pronouncing it wrong.
No, that sounds like Al.
But he died in 2007.
Of COVID?
No.
Oh.
2007!
2020.
My bad.
2007!
My bad.
God damn.
Man, you're just like, man, that's way back.
That was a while ago.
He was in Toy Story 2.
Was he the old man?
He was Wheezy.
Who's Wheezy?
No fucking idea.
Okay, well.
You guys are the Toy Story heads.
The wheezy
that
the
the
toy
penguin?
that spoke with a wheezy ass voice, wasn't it?
The penguin? He swallowed his squeaker?
It wasn't Lil Wayne, I know that much.
Wow. I don't know, but back to your comment about him being sounding like Lando, that would have been funny. Listen, Beetlejuice, babe.
Right? No, they
How
were
you
lovers.
Char-
Also, you know
Sorry?
who else I think could also have been a stand-in? Christopher Walken. Like, put that accent in this movie. Oh, we're...
For Maxie?
Yes.
That would have been great.
Yes.
You start hearing, Charles starts hearing like a wailing noise, like a crying outside his office. And he walks over the door and there's a sheet there with eye holes cut out of it.
Right?
And he's like, very funny, Lydia. And then he closes the door and he pauses. And he opens it back up and he goes, your mother's going to kill you when she finds out she cut holes in her $300 sheets.
Have you recently bought sheets?
I have not.
Okay. They're expensive, in my opinion, but everything is at this point.
Yeah.
But, like, a good pair of sheets on, like, the medium end is, like,
$60?
$50-$60.
Yeah.
And I was like, these sheets do not look like $300 sheets.
But I feel like Charles is just
They look
slightly tapped out of like what is expensive. He's like, I've lived in New York City. I don't know what things. It's like that interview with Bill Gates when they're like trying to get him to guess things. He's like, how much does milk cost? And he's like, I don't know. $20, and it's like, my guy.
Well, it could also be that thing where it's like he knows his wife, and he knows she's going to buy expensive stuff
that looks ugly.
It looks bad. Both of the sheets look bad. But do you guys want to know how much $300 is in today money? In real money?
Yes. Wait, I want to guess.
Oh, please.
Is it $5,000?
5,000. Anybody else want to guess?
Well, considering the 250 was like 700, I'm gonna say like 6.
1,000 or 600?
600.
$15K.
Etta is the closest.
Oh.
$300 in 1988 is roughly $796.46.
God damn
So
inflation.
$800 sheets.
Which is ridiculous.
Yes! That is absurd. She could have just had Otho make her some sheets. He probably knows how.
But also, she went to sleep. Remember when she like goes to? This is around the same time.
This is the same scene because they don't scare Charles.
She is asleep in her makeup.
Oh, looks haggard.
Well, she fell asleep on Valium.
Oh,
and Valium will knock you out.
Because Lydia has a comment. She's sleeping with Prince Valium.
Yeah.
Valium. It's the 80s.
Yeah.
But she is.
$300 sheet. Sorry, 600.
But she's not sleeping in a bed though. I thought she was like sleeping in a chair.
No, she's sleeping on the bed.
I think it was
is it the bed?
Yeah, because she wakes up, she pops up, hits the TV, and then...
Yeah, she does spring up, and
Yeah.
they're standing between her and the TV. And again, she doesn't notice the sheets. She can't see the ghosts. She just clicks the TV off, but man, her makeup is fucked up.
What gets me is, like, if I'm spending $300 on sheets, they better be, like, silk or satin. And I feel like with their
Thread count?
with her, because she was sleeping in a robe, she'd be sliding all over that thing.
Oh, yeah. She'd be swimming in that bed.
Yeah, because we used to have silk sheets, and we were like literally it was like a slip and slide.
You try to lay in bed, you slide all the way across, fall on the
Literally,
floor.
you're flopping all over that thing.
Maybe they were like some kind of designer sheets by some artist or some shit.
Maybe like a designer friend.
She was
like,
paying.
let me
She was
help you
paying
out.
for a label.
And it's kind of like, you know how Kanye made that shirt?
Yes.
Each shirt cost $100, but it was literally a white t-shirt.
Yes.
Maybe it's like that.
That's appalling. Can I tell you a funny story about a white t-shirt?
Jesus.
So, you're gonna love this. So I was at my sister's house years ago. My nephew was still a teenager, my oldest nephew, and he was wearing a plain white Hanes t-shirt.
Hey there, Delilah.
Shut up. About that time, yeah. So my nephew gets up, he goes to the kitchen, he gets himself a bowl of ice cream. He walks back into the living room and sits in the recliner and he eats his bowl of ice cream. Nothing strange happened. This boy gets up. He's like 15. He gets out of this chair, turns around to walk back to the kitchen. He had ice cream on his back. Nothing on this white t-shirt but a brown ice cream stain on his fucking back.
Man was going ham.
Yeah, it was great. He
really needed that ice cream.
It was phenomenal. This is where Lydia is in her room and she hears like the ghost moaning and she thinks her parents are having sex.
Yeah, and
She goes, "Come on, guys, I'm a teenager," or something like that.
she's like really nonchalant about it.
I thought she said, "God, I hate that woman."
She might have.
Yeah.
She might have. But she also makes a comment about not wanting to hear it. And when she goes out into the hallway, the ghosts leave Delia's room and they're in the hallway and then this camera starts flashing. And Lydia's just there taking pictures of them, still thinking it's her parents.
Uh-huh.
She goes, "Man, you guys are into some weird stuff."
Yep.
Then she picks up one of the pictures from her Polaroid and she realizes there's no feet. And this is the moment where she's like, "Oh, you guys are ghosts. Why are you wearing sheets? Are you gross under there? Can I see?"
Which is a weird reaction to have when you find out ghosts exist immediately.
Well, this girl wants to be a ghost. She wants to die anyway. She's
Which-
fascinated by it.
When we get there, I love that moment when she's like writing her we'll get there.
It's so fucking dramatic.
Utterly.
No. We'll do it better when we get to it. It's so much better. It's great.
It's so on brand.
And this is where she starts to become buddy with them. This is where they, I think, first let her into the attic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she sees the model set.
Yeah, 'cause she's like, "Oh, you built all this or something like that?"
And they're like, "Look, we're trying to scare your parents out of this house, but they can't see us." And she goes, "Oh yeah, my dad's not going to leave anywhere. He never gives up on equity."
Yeah.
So they kind of send her away. And this is when they finally decide it's time to call Beetlejuice. I believe it's Juno, when they had the meeting with Juno, I believe she is the one that tells them the proper way to say his name.
Yes.
Because they don't play the charades thing like he does later in the film. And they say his name 3 times and boom, they're down in the model. And like, well, where is this guy? And there's a big headstone with his name on it. And like, well, how do we get him out? And there's 2 shovels there and they fall over.
Yeah, and then he has them start digging him out.
Knowing goddamn well he can get out of this hole. He got up and with his hands out and ate the bug. He made the TV commercial.
He had to make him work for it.
Yeah. He's just a fucking asshole trolling people.
Yeah.
He needed some theatrics.
Yes. He was probably not even down there until they got right down to the coffin. Then he's like, oh, let me pop in, give him a little theatrics.
Yep.
And they're digging and they pull up the grass, which is just a foam mat.
Which is, it's really kind of funny because it, like, the work they put into the set of them digging to get to this grave is fantastic.
This gave me strong vibes of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Mm-hmm. Yes!
Like when the kids are in the backyard running among the grass and everything. This really made me think of that.
To, like, give a throwback to, like, OG Disney days, in Animal Kingdom, they used to have a section of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where you could, everything was, like, blown up and large. And so it was, like, a kid's playground where you could, like, go in and it'd be, like, just a large yard. And I remember, like, running through that, and it was really cool.
I would have loved that as a kid.
You were there at the time. You
I don't
just might
remember
have
that,
blacked
though.
it out, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I went to Disney in 2000 for the first time.
Yeah,
I was about 10.
It was around that time, because I remember, like, being in that moment. I was like, this is really
What?
cool.
Which park was that at?
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
It was near or around where Dinosaur is.
That's cool.
And you know Dinosaur is my favorite ride in Animal Kingdom. That ride's
That ride's rough.
It's
But they kind
R.I.P.
of are bringing something similar to that back with the Ant-Man Pym Cafe.
Yeah.
Where you go inside and everything's just bigger versions of real life stuff.
In Toy Story Land.
Oh, I don't remember Toy Story Land.
Toy Story Land. Everything's blown up in Toy Story Land.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it gave me Honey, I Shrunk the Kids vibes. It's funny because they pull up the grass and they dig through the ground, which is just cardboard. It looks like some kind of insulation foam and another layer of cardboard.
Yeah.
And they're just shoveling the stuff out like it's actual dirt. And they get down to the coffin. I think his name is written on the coffin as well.
Beetlejuice.
And this is where he explodes out of the coffin and we meet him for the first time properly. And he is just a fucking menace.
Yes.
Like the whole time, he like, what is he? He hugs Adam, he kisses Barbara.
Yeah.
He, like, hugs Adam. He's, like, tickling her stomach. It's like,
Yeah.
we're getting
Yeah.
in places like
Yeah.
we probably shouldn't touch.
My man's basically sexually assaulted Barbara.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny when he's going through his pockets, he pulls out a rat and he goes, hey, hold this for me. Mm-hmm. It's just like, oh, it's a live rat in your pocket. He's like Hagrid. Hagrid had live animals in his coat.
Yeah.
True. Just not as endearing, though.
No. I love Hagrid.
Probably shouldn't have told you that.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Oh, man. R.I.P. Shout out to Robbie Coltrane.
Yep.
Great name.
Great name.
And they're kind of freaked out by him, and they're like, well, what are your qualifications? And this is my favorite moment in this entire movie. He completely drops the Beetlejuice voice, and he just talks like Michael Keaton. He goes, well, I attended Juilliard. I don't remember the quote. Damn it. They said, I attended Juilliard. I survived the Black Plague. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it gets funnier every time I see it.
Not to mention, you're talking to a dead guy.
Yes! And they're like, oh, maybe we don't want to do this. And then he jumps on Adam's back, and he kisses his cheek, and he shifts into Adam's outfit.
Yep. He's like, look, we're basically twins.
Yeah, he's like, look, we're dressed the same. Got the white and black checkered flannel with the white shirt. Mm-hmm. The only thing he's missing is the bush of chest hair that is poking up constantly through Alec Baldwin's t-shirt throughout this entire film.
They wanted him to shave.
This is just a hairy man.
I wonder if he's still that 80 or that hairy.
Could be, just all white.
Sure, he probably is.
And they're like, look, no, they say his name 3 more times and boom, they're out of the model. Because I guess only living people...
Well, I thought they said home 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
She did
You are
say
right. I'm remembering it wrong. They said home 3 times. It's like Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. He's like, come on, we're gonna have
Do you
dinner.
think that's a reference?
Could be. He's like going back up to his grave and he's saying he's gonna cook him a meal and he turns like, where'd you go? Huh? Come on, you losers! And he kicks the tree and he goes, nice fucking model. And he grabs his crotch, and you hear like a
honking sound?
Yes, a honking sound.
Yep.
And that's our one use of the F-bomb in this film. And this movie was after the PG-13 rating.
Well, yeah, because the first PG-13 rating was Temple of Doom, right?
I think Temple of Doom created the rating.
Yeah.
So in a PG-13 film, you can get away with the use of fuck once.
Which is weird.
But not in the sense of we're going to fuck. It's like, I ran into that fucking tree.
Which I feel like at this point, because of the way society is, I feel like we can up the fucks.
Oh, yeah. Let's up the fucks. Always.
Yeah.
Verbally and on screen. Let's up the fucks.
Wow.
See, this is how society declines.
We've already...
Shit like this. Like, let's add more fucks to PG-13.
Absolutely.
The kids don't. It's just fine. Like,
I mean, as a 13-year-old once upon a time, I was dropping F-bombs left and right.
how old are people when they go to 6th grade?
6th grade? 10 or
11.
11?
Okay, that's when I started dropping it.
That's when I met this bitch.
I started 6th grade in 2001, so I was 11.
Yeah, that's when I started dropping the F-bomb.
But I found his qualification quote, and I would like to say it real fast.
Please, go ahead.
He's like, well, I attended Juilliard. I graduated Harvard Business School. I traveled quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague. I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every time I see it. Not to mention you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified?
You reckon that was improvised?
I really hope it was. I really want that part to be improvised. It's great. But it's just the way he just completely dropped the Beetlejuice voice, and he was just talking like Michael Keaton.
Those were his actual qualifications until he hit the plague part.
Yeah.
The fact that he's seen The Exorcist so many goddamn times.
Well, he was like, this is probably a documentary.
He's like, man, that William Friedkin can really direct a movie.
And if that was not improv, the chewing a dog
Yeah, that
is
fucking commercial.
my absolute favorite part.
I'll do anything.
So they're the Deets are having a dinner party. They've invited over some random lady
In gold, yeah.
in gold, and they've also invited over Delia's
Manager and his wife?
I assume it's his wife, yes.
Or, because it's New York City and the art scene, her manager and his mistress.
Oh, could very well be. She looked a lot younger than him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trophy wife. Could be a trophy wife.
Could be.
They're kind of bored sitting around talking about nothing, and Lydia makes the comment of, there are ghosts in the house. And like, oh, that's just a joke between the two of us. And she's like, no, really, there's ghosts. They start singing the Calypso music.
Yeah. They paid for one song in this film and they used it so much.
They use it at the beginning, they use it at this scene, and they use it again at the end. The same song.
Them singing the song didn't happen when Dahlia's manager. Wasn't that when
Maxie?
Yeah,
No, it's this part. It's this part.
Is this part?
Maxie shows up later.
That's right.
They start like acting like marionettes. Like they can't control themselves. They're lip syncing to the song. They're dancing. And I keep saying his name wrong. Otho is fucking into it.
But
this man is vibing.
It starts weird because like they're just all sitting around and then Delia's just like, Day-yo. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, what the world is happening?
Oh, but wait, that one lady has that catty comment to Otho first. He says something about he dabbled in the paranormal or something. And she says, oh, is that what you people call yourselves nowadays?
Oh, I missed that line.
Yeah.
The 80s.
Yeah.
Wowed.
And Otho just really, it doesn't really faze him. But they start singing the song and they all start dancing. The lady who also had the catty remark, she also seems into it.
Yeah, like you're right. Ortho is incredibly into this scene or into this moment at the moment. He's like eyes closed, vibing with it.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
banging on the ice bucket.
Yeah, because he looks confused for a second, but then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go with
like,
it.
I'm just
gonna
this
go
feels
with
good. This feels right.
Come, Mr. Tallyman. Tally me banana.
banana.
It's called Banana Boat.
Is that what the song?
Yeah, it's by
Banana Boat Deo.
Oh, I was going to say, I
can't
always knew it
remember
as
fucking-
Deo.
It is Harry
Belafonte.
Belafonte.
That is a
Jeremy
great
got it.
name.
Isn't it?
Belafonte.
I recognize the name, but I couldn't tell you another thing he's saying.
Is he dead? Did he die in like a plane crash? He sounds like he would die in like a seaboat accident.
This
Or seaplane
gentleman
accident.
died last year.
Of COVID?
Shit.
No.
That happened in 2007.
They're still.
Not everyone died of COVID.
When you're old, I'm automatically assuming you're either dying of old age or COVID. If we're being honest, If you're young, honestly, also COVID.
Those are just the two.
There's only 3 things you can die of now.
You give me 1
Sorry.
second, I can tell you what got him. He was almost 100.
So it was definitely COVID.
He had congenitive heart failure
Man.
at 96.
At 96, it's not congenitive heart failure. That's dying of old age.
It's COVID.
And COVID.
It starts with a C. It's COVID. But yeah, so Harry Belafonte. The only one not being puppeted is Lydia. She's kind of off in the corner laughing at everybody.
Well, because the Maitlands are like, this is our child that we have adopted from these people.
Yeah, they really care about this kid.
Yeah, they're like...
Especially Barbara. Barbara is baby crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like halfway through the movie, she's like, "I want to stay with Lydia," and you're like, "Why is this woman attached?"
That
to
happened
this?
so fast.
This random child.
Yeah, that happened. That happens.
It was real quick.
Gosh, I don't know if I wrote that down when that exactly happens.
It was around the time where they first tried to get Beetlejuice.
Oh, is it when they pop out from home?
No, I think it's right before they get the door to... Or they build that door, maybe.
But
she
they had
said
better
she
then.
wants to be with Lydia after they fuck their faces up.
Oh, okay. So after they have their next meeting with Juno, when we meet the football team.
So that's pretty soon.
That's coming up.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. At the end of this, they all sit back down, and this is like the legitimate, kind of creepy, just the way it looks. But they have these big bowls of shrimp in front of them, and their shrimp are so big, I thought they were lobster tails.
The shrimp look weird to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just kind of hanging over the edge of the cups. They're oddly colored. That's why I thought they were lobster tails. But basically, every single
But I
one
was
of them...
thinking they were like, there's a particular type of shrimp, but I'm forgetting the name of it. I want to say, we've had it before.
Jumbo.
No, it's...
handy.
Prawn.
But everyone has one of these bowls in front of them, and they turn into fingers, and full arms come out and grab everyone by the face and pull them down real quick into their bowls, and then they just go back to being shrimp. And now this is where everyone is excited about the ghosts.
Which is another weird reaction to have about Ghost.
I mean, if my dinner grabbed my face, I'd be a little freaked out.
I'm not coming back to that house.
No.
I was like... And I think that's one of the reasons why Tim Burton doesn't have black people in his films, because he's like, black people aren't falling for this.
Mm-hmm. All that creepy shit that would happen to us, we're out.
Immediately. Like, sometimes I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we wouldn't be in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
If it was The Exorcist, if it was a black kid, Mom would have just slapped the devil out of her.
When Otho and Dahlia first went up the fucking staircase and Adam ran past them and closed it,
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
I would have left then.
Yep. Immediately, I'm like, well, that's my son. Time to get
I'd
out.
have been like, oh, hell, somebody's in there.
You know, no.
Something pushed me over and I didn't see it, and
The
then the door
moment-
slammed shut.
Also, the moment when Lydia saw people in the attic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
didn't
Oh, that
see
would have
them
been it
again.
for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been living in this
Time
house for
to go.
months. There's a room that's locked. I just saw people in that room. I'm not going back in there. Dad, call the cops.
Yep.
Terrifying.
Time to go.
There's a hider in the house. Oh, but the guests leave after this. They're kind of excited for the ghosts. They tell Lydia to go upstairs and get them, but they don't want to come back down.
Yeah.
And this is basically where Delia's manager is like, you aren't shit. Your artwork sucks. I'm basically dropping you as a client. And
He's
he
like,
leaves.
Delia has lost me a lot of money.
Yeah, he has that comment. I've lost more money from Delia over the years than I've made. And he seems put out the entire time he's on screen. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't want to be here.
He's a tiny man anyway. He's like, I'm a short king. I don't have a lot going for me here.
So when they leave, this is where everyone goes up to the attic. Do the ghosts open the door, right?
No, Lydia has the key, right?
She opens
Oh,
it the first time.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where they open it. And the ghosts are hanging out the window because they don't even want Lydia to see them in this moment. I think this is where Otho snatches up the book for the recently deceased.
Yep.
They start trying to plan a way to get the ghosts to do what they want. And as they're walking downstairs, you see a shot of Delia running her hand across the upstairs banister, and it transitions into snake scales. Mm-hmm. And
because I remember looking at that, I was like, why is the railing snakeskin? And I was like, that's a very Delia thing to do. I was like, this is very on brand for them.
With her one arm gloved and one arm not gloved.
Right? I was
Yeah.
like, this feels in style with that. And then it turns out it was not.
Nope.
it's Beetlejuice. He can only do so much outside of the cemetery. Mm-hmm. And he fucks them up in this scene. This is where he knocks Otho down the stairs.
Yep.
He gets close to Lydia. That's at the end of it. I don't think he does anything to Delia. She gets into a room. He drops Charles from the second floor right on his back. And later we just see he has a Band-Aid on his forehead.
Like,
motherfucker, you're in a wheelchair.
Right?
Like, Beetlejuice was actually, it felt like he was trying to kill these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gets near Lydia and he makes some comment about marrying her.
Which is...
And this is the first time we see this.
He'll do or something.
Yes.
It was real.
Yes.
No, he when he picked Charles up, he said, "We've come for your daughter, Chuck." He dropped him.
Yes.
Yeah, he dropped him.
Came for your daughter, Chuck.
And then he rolls up on Lydia, and he's literally just looking at her, snarling.
Yes.
And that's when, what's her name? Runs
Barbara
in
comes out and says his name 3 times.
Ooh.
And for some reason, later, Lydia doesn't know his name.
Maybe she was like a little stunned.
I mean, I would be too if there was a giant snake thing.
And a creepy man trying to be like...
Creepy snake.
Yeah.
This is also one of the only times they said Beetlejuice really fast to get him out of there.
Yeah, later
I
on,
think
they
that
were
was the
taking
only
their
time.
sweet fucking time.
They're pausing, so... You know what? We'll get there.
But
We'll
fun
get there.
fun fact about this scene, they filmed this scene before Michael Keaton was hired to play Beetlejuice.
Oh. Why would they do that?
They hadn't found an actor yet. I mean, he's barely in the film. It's
It's like the shark in Jaws.
He is like the shark in Jaws.
It is a horror comedy. You know, a lot of horror movies, you don't actually see the
Scary
thing that's
bit.
terrorizing
Yeah.
Until the
people.
very
like
end.
it's partially like hidden half of the time. You don't always get like a really good look at it. Like the werewolf. Remember the werewolf movie?
Oh, yeah, American Werewolf.
That was also partially because that werewolf was ass.
It was bad.
Did he also try to take the shape of like the sandworm?
That's
Is
what
that
I
when
was
he
thinking.
was the snake?
Yeah, when he was the snake. That's
Like,
what I
was
thinking.
that the form that he took?
Maybe just
I just assumed he was some kind of snake thing. They also sculpted the face to not look like anyone particular because they hadn't cast anyone yet.
gotcha.
It just had the hair, and they just ADR the voice later.
maybe whoever was making the sculptures and shit like that just made shit look similar.
Maybe. I mean, Beetlejuice's his whole color scheme is black and white,
Yeah.
Like the sandworms.
like the sandworms.
We forgot to mention that he said when they met him, he said, "You've been to Saturn. I've been to Saturn."
Yes.
Yeah, because that's when they pop into the cemetery. That's the moment where he mentions that. Yeah.
That's when you realize where they were when they stepped out of the house for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah. No, I never caught that until you mentioned it a little while ago. Yeah, but Barbara says his name 3 times real fast. He gets sent back into the model, and he's pissed. When he pops back into the model, he crashes a little red truck, and he rolls out, and they go back upstairs to chastise him. And Barbara picks him up, and like these spikes fly out of him, and she drops him. And when he lands back in the model, he's like, what should I do right now? And this brothel pops up.
I like that he has to push himself out of the phone, though.
Yeah, because his spikes are stuck in it.
He
Yeah.
was feeling a little anxious, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He was like, "I'm feeling a little anxious, if you know what I mean."
And this is where Barbara has that great sarcastic line of, "Adam, why didn't you build that?" He goes, "I didn't build that."
Oh yeah.
This is where they get called to Juno.
But
They
wait,
called into her office.
I would like to point out about this whorehouse is one of the selling points for it is air conditioned.
Oh, yeah.
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 Etta pointed that same fucking thing
Yes.
out.
So it's nice and cool in here. Don't worry.
You don't want to be in one where it's not air conditioned.
Like, I don't...
A bunch of dead people getting hot and sweaty? No, thank you.
I don't think Beetlejuice minds.
So they finally go to Juno's office.
Yes.
And this is where we meet the football team.
Those poor babies.
And she's mad that they contacted Beetlejuice, that they couldn't figure this out themselves. And the football team is like, "Coach, where's the bathroom?" She goes, "I'm not your coach." He survived somehow.
He probably killed those kids.
He did not.
No.
He was like, I don't want to do this.
But also, where were they that the whole team died, but in their gear, but the coach survived?
We are marshals.
For some reason, he wasn't in the
Yeah, but I doubt very much that they were. Was it a plane crash?
No,
bus.
Bus crash.
It was bus.
I doubt very much they were on a bus wearing their full athletic gear.
I mean, I think those
They might have been.
Yeah, they might have been. Like, you wear your pants and your jersey, not your, you're not wearing the shoulder pads or the helmet.
That's what I'm saying. They're all wearing that.
This was 1980s times.
I stand by.
Maybe there
I
was a
stand
bomb
by
in
this
the-
observation.
a bomb in the field and the immediate.
Yeah, Bane killed them.
Yes, there you go. You picking up 1 point down.
Beetlejuice.
Batman.
Oh my gosh.
stupid.
It's all connected.
Okay.
Made by millennials.
But basically, Juno tells them, you got to try harder.
I like that part though, when they're like, "Coach, where's the bathroom?"
Yeah, she goes, the bathroom, please. But Adam pulls his eyes out and he stretches his face. He looks like a big chicken man.
I would like to circle back real fast to the sweet team, the sweet babies. They don't care that their coach is a woman. They're just like, I see an authority figure. That's my coach.
Maybe their coach was a woman. Maybe she looks like their coach.
Maybe.
Oh, no, because she said he survived.
Yeah.
But, so Adam looks like a chick. He almost looks kind of like one of the spies from Spy versus Spy. With that elongated face. You know, like the black and the white spies. Mm-hmm. He almost looks kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I have no idea. Is Spy versus Spy the one with not Adam Sandler?
No, it's like an old
Anne
cartoon.
Hathaway?
It's a cartoon.
Oh,
It's a quick little cartoon. I think it was also a comic strip.
I think it was a comic strip in the Mad TV magazine.
That could be it. It might have been on Mad TV, the show, too.
I think it was.
Yeah. So Spy versus Spy. That's what he looked like.
Never seen it.
But then he takes his eyeballs and he puts them on his fingertips. And he's looking with his fingers. And
it reminded me of Real Monsters.
yeah. Or the thing from Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh.
Eye Hands, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know it had a name.
It has a name, and it's not Eye Hands. I forget what it is.
Hand-eye coordination.
But Barbara pushes her eyes back in her head and stretches her mouth open so her eyes are sitting on top of her tongue. And when Adam is trying to look at her, he turns his head, but he can't see.
Yeah.
And he holds his glasses up to his eye fingers so he can get a look at her. It's great. And Juno's like, good, I like it. Now go scare him out of your house.
But, to be fair...
And get the book back.
It's not very scary.
Oh, and get the book back. She's pissed that they stole the book. I forgot about that.
It's not very scary. It's just weird looking.
Yeah, it looks goofy.
Yeah.
If you saw somebody walk into your house and their nose and head looked like that, and they had eyeballs on their fingers, you'd probably be...
Not even that. It's like, I've just been possessed. I've seen pictures of ghosts. At this point, I'm like, what the fuck is that? I would just be like, what are we doing here, guys?
With the visual effects they have now, they could probably make it look a lot worse. The snake scene was making me think this could have been a very different movie.
If it was an actual proper horror film?
Yeah.
Oh, that snake would have tried to eat somebody.
Yeah.
Like in that
Was
one
the
Freddy
snake
Krueger
not
movie.
trying to eat people?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It was just
the
fucking with
snake
people.
scene kind of made me think this could have been a very different movie. Like if Beetlejuice wasn't so fucking goofy, he could have been legitimately terrifying.
I mean, he could have very easily killed any of them.
Yeah.
That's true.
He threw one guy down the stairs. He dropped one guy from the second balcony. He could have done so much worse.
And ain't no telling what the fuck he was about to do to Lydia.
And then also, it could have been also on another spectrum. It could have been like Sandy from the episode of SpongeBob when she was doing the Alaskan bullworm and riding it through.
Oh my god. It would have gone over the top with Goofy.
Yeah.
That's if Taika Waititi had been directing.
It's two different spectrums.
Barbara was riding a worm later on in the fucking movie.
She does.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Don't know
Yeah.
how she wrangled that.
Yeah.
Actually, I do. She punched it.
I remember when she punched it. I don't remember her riding it.
Yeah, that's
it's,
how
it's right at the end.
Yeah. That's how they took him out.
So in this moment, this is where the football team gets one more good laugh. When Barbara and Adam leave, the football team comes back in, and they're like, Coach, I don't think we survived that bus crash. And Juno goes, you don't say.
Juno's so put out with this team.
She's so fed up.
She's like, I'm tired of wrangling these children.
She's like, look, I wanna go on vacation.
She seems exasperated the entire time.
Exactly. And then we see Delia and Charles hanging out on the sun deck. And they're trying
I love that sun deck. I want one for our house.
There's no railings on it, and they're like a full second floor above ground.
It's beautiful. I want one so bad.
And there's no cover on it. There's a wall, there's a floor, and that's it. There's no ceiling, there's no other walls.
Nothing about that makes sense.
It's so unsafe. I'm gonna get fucked up one night, walk out on my deck, and fall to my death.
It's a very aesthetic.
I'm gonna be stuck in the house with Adam and Barbara.
House.
You can't have two Adams.
The only thing I like is the oversized wicker chairs.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they are comfy in
Also,
those chairs.
when they were putting that thing up, I don't think they secured it to anything.
No.
No,
Like,
it's
they
literally just a standalone wall.
Yeah, they put the wall up, and the wall's just standing there. I
Yes.
assume it's really heavy. So if somehow it did tip over,
It's killing
or
somebody.
it landed
Or-
on you.
Yeah.
Or it's bolted in from in from the bottom.
Hopefully it's bolted in.
I mean, because the structure
It's a
itself is
giant
like sitting on
oversized
one
bolt.
pillar. Yeah, with one giant wrench, like a cartoon.
Yeah.
But they're coming up with a plan. I think they're talking about
Is
Lydia.
this when Otho is in his robe?
Oh,
on the
he
deck?
is in his Sunday best.
His full
Otho.
diva.
Otho is comfortable in this scene.
They're drinking mimosas, having a day.
You guys need to be more comfortable.
Yeah, and this is where he says they make a plan to use the book. And Otho, I keep calling him Ortho. There's no R in this man's name. Otho.
I blame Erica. She said it first.
I remember his name being Ortho.
No, it's
Otho.
Otho.
No, it's Otho.
O-T-H-O.
That's a terrible name.
Great actor.
Ortho is also a bad name.
Yes.
That sounds like a wizard in
Isn't
something.
it like a pest brand? Ortho?
It also sounds
like it, yeah.
like a lackey, which is honestly what Ortho is. I'm sorry,
sounds
Otho.
like a heavy.
Yeah.
Like the right hand to the villain.
Every time y'all say it, I think orthopedic.
Orthodontist. You know, I bet Otho knows a guy who can pull some teeth.
Absolutely, and he probably helped him.
Yeah.
He's like, I got experience with pulling teeth,
You know,
Charles.
I know a guy who can sell some teeth for you.
I worked as a dentist for 2 years.
You
A
need-
dentist. He's the same dentist.
Do you need
from,
fake X-rays?
No, he's the same dentist from Little Shop of Horrors.
I like that movie.
Oh no,
Oh yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Well, he might have helped that dentist.
Yeah, he's the dentist that Ortho
I like
knows.
that movie.
But Otho.
Otho knows.
But also,
I like that movie.
Etta, you're right. Ortho is a form of
Exterminator?
pesticide.
Yep.
Look at me.
This is Lydia's amazing suicide note scene
Oh my.
where she's
gosh.
sitting there in her room in all black. I think she's wearing another veil. She's crying. She's writing in her notebook, and she writes, "I am alone." Rips the page out.
I would argue this is the most realistic moment of this whole film.
An angsty teen writing a suicide note?
Yes.
Oh my god.
As she's writing it, because it's exactly in a messy teen writing. The pauses, the way she's like, no, I need to be more dramatic with it.
Yep.
Yeah, because she rips out that first page, and then she writes, "I am utterly alone."
Yeah, that flows better.
Like it is. It's so dramatic.
Fucking Beetlejuice called her Edgar Allan Poe's daughter or some shit like that. I can't remember
Yes.
exactly what he said.
He does refer to her that. When does he say that?
Because after they stopped him from the snake scene and they were having their argument, I think he said, "I don't even want to work with you guys anymore." And then he's just like, Edgar Allan Poe's daughter over there, however, I might be able to work with her.
Oh, I remember him referring to her that way, but I don't remember when. We also got a little out of order again because it's the suicide note. Then they do the scare plan where they stretch their faces out.
Oh, okay.
But this is now where Lydia goes up into the attic and she meets Beetlejuice. He's sunbathing on the deck of the whorehouse. She says, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm the ghost with the most, babe." And he's just got the little glasses on. He's got the mirror thing in front of him.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
I've never seen it in real life.
Is that a real thing?
I guess it's to get a tan under your chin to make sure your tan is even.
It's to reflect the light where you want it.
Right.
That's all it is.
Yeah. So if you reflect it the correct way, you can
Yeah.
tan your asshole.
I don't see why you would,
Gotta
but
sun that perennial.
Beetlejuice asks her to help him get out. He says he can't. He's stuck there. He doesn't want to be there anymore. He can't say his name to her because he says something like, "Look, if I tell you my name, you're gonna be telling all your friends, and it's gonna go around. Everyone will know." And she goes,
Your
"Well,
Michael Keaton, your Beetlejuice voice is fantastic.
thank you."
Yeah.
but also Beetlejuice's makeup, they took the time. Like I love the moss and
It looks like
or
Mold.
no
Mold.
mold.
Yeah.
It looks like because it's like right around the outline of his hair.
yeah,
So in real life, it looks like that's how they're hiding his wig lines.
probably.
But movie aspect, it looks like he's wearing someone else's scalp
Yeah.
yeah,
because
kinda.
it just outlines the hair so perfectly. And his teeth are all rotten and stuff. He's got the raccoon color.
He's like a
black
corpse.
eyes. He is
Yeah.
very much a corpse.
It was supposed to be reminiscent of how a corpse looks when it's decaying.
Yeah.
The skin around the eyes are decaying and shit like that. And
Yeah, because I think you start at the edges first and then work your way in and decaying.
I think
I
so.
don't like to think about
Call Zill. He'll know. So
Yeah.
fun thing. Michael Keaton was not Tim Burton's first pick for Beetlejuice.
Who was it?
It's so much funnier.
Is it?
You'll never guess.
Oh, so it's not Christopher Walken.
No.
I actually read this today, who his first choice was,
Oh!
and I can't remember.
Oh,
Yep.
delightful. Fucking Sammy Davis Jr.
That's wild.
Because Tim Burton loved him from his childhood, and he wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to play Beetlejuice. And the studio was like, no.
That's wild in the sense of like what I've learned recently about Tim Burton and black people. Really?
That's why there are no black people in his movies. He's like, I can't get Sammy Davis Jr. I'm getting nobody.
He's like, no one else. Mm-hmm. Only Sammy.
Only Sammy.
And then his second choice also wasn't Michael Keaton, was it?
I don't know about after Sammy Davis Jr.
I believe there were 2 other people that he wanted to get before they got Michael Keaton. I can't remember who the other one was.
Oh, I didn't read that. I only read the first one.
Sammy Davis Jr. would have been old as hell, though.
He had to have been.
Because he was old in the Brat Pack. Not old, but like in his 40s.
Sammy Davis Jr. died 2 years after this movie came out. So he's around the same age as Juno.
Yeah, too old.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have had the same energy.
He was in his late 60s?
Never mind then. He might have had the same energy.
I'm sorry. He was in his mid 60s. He was 64 years old when he died. I can't do math.
Juno's one of the best characters.
Juno is the best character.
Juno is also not super. What's the word I'm looking for? Not flamboyant.
Because Juno is flamboyant.
No. Juno is not super energetic.
No.
She is annoyed and she is put out every scene she's in, but she's not doing all the shit that Michael Keaton does.
That's true. Like so I feel like Michael Keaton in this film is very. He's movement incarnate. Like, he is constantly moving.
Yeah, like in the ad, he throws himself on his back.
Like, he is constantly energy. But, like, I feel like Juno brings the same energy, just in a different way.
She's much more calm.
Yeah. Yes and no. Because, I mean, like, she's not kinetic. Her energy,
that's what I'm saying. She's not physical.
Yes, there you go.
Like, and Sammy Davis Jr. couldn't be doing that.
No.
The character would not be nearly as good if it was Sammy Davis Jr. He was too
good.
old.
Yeah.
No. Also, I've never seen Sammy Davis Jr. act. I know he was an actor, but he was predominantly a singer.
I've only ever seen this man smoking his way through a movie.
Really? What movie? Do you remember?
No. I used to watch a lot of TCM, though.
Oh, okay.
But, like, he'd just be in there and just smoking his way through it.
Wow. So.
Would have been great in The Godfather.
Oh, my God. Fantastic in The Godfather. Yeah. What would he been doing? I don't know, but
he would have been like in his 40s.
In The Godfather?
Yeah, if he died in 90 and he was 64, 18 years before that.
He is so much younger than I thought he was.
Yeah,
or maybe The Godfather is older than I anticipated.
Why not both?
Probably that.
So he tells her, like, look, I can't say your name, or I can't tell you my name. You have
is James Caan dead?
Yeah, he died about a year or two ago.
From COVID?
You know, Beetlejuice probably died of COVID.
No, the sandworm had COVID and then just took him out, you know?
The sandworm is COVID.
Yes.
It's a metaphor.
So.
Fucking hell.
Jesus. So he wants to do charades.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you know, it's 2 syllables. He can't say that, but he's like, she's like,
he
what?
would have been put out with me because I never would have guessed it if we're being honest.
Oh
she got it real quick.
Yeah, she did, but the second part she fucked up for a little bit. But that first part is really good because he's like, she's like, what? Goes, turn around, and she turns around and there's a beetle there and she goes, hi, how are you? So fucking good. And she goes, beetle. He's like, yeah, you got it. And the second thing is, it's a carton of orange juice pouring into a glass.
Specifically, a carton of Minute Maid orange juice. It makes you wonder how much they paid to be in this.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
And she goes, beetle
breakfast.
Yeah, beetle breakfast. Beetle Bailey.
Like she took too long to get to juice. If we're being honest,
she did so bad.
She's like beetle orange, beetle glass, beetle juice, and he goes, yeah.
That would have been the first fucking thing.
First thing.
But he goes,
it at most second because maybe beetle drink.
Okay.
What would have been?
But she says your name is Beetlejuice, and he goes, that's it. Say it one more time. Just one more time. She goes, I want to talk to Barbara about this. Not Adam. Barbara. Pretty sure she says Barbara.
She says Barbara because that's my mom's second favorite fucking line in the movie is when Beetlejuice says, no, you don't have to talk to Barbara.
Yeah.
That's my mom's second favorite fucking line. I know she harassed my aunt so bad with that shit because my aunt's name is Barbara.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Nice.
I know she used to harass my aunt with that shit.
I mean, in the defense of Lydia on the
she's
talking
bad.
to Barbara situation, it's in the same way of I would circumvent situation. Like, I'm gonna go talk to my mom about this.
Right.
And like, even if I didn't want to do it, I'd be like, well, my mom said. Then you just roll with it.
During this moment, it's where the Maitlands come out with their faces all fucked up. I forget how they make Beetlejuice go away in this moment. Does Barbara say his name again?
No, he literally just falls off the fucking railing because he's leaning forward so hard.
Oh, you're right.
But he can't get out because she only said the name
and
twice.
they're like, don't say his name.
Yeah.
And Barbara immediately, her face changes back instantly.
She's like, oh, it's us.
Yeah, and then Adam's having trouble. He's like, you can see him in the background pushing on his face, trying to get it to go back to normal. And Barbara is telling him, like, look, no, we don't mind if you guys stay, I think she says at this moment. Oh, no. It's right after she goes back downstairs. She says she wants to stay with Lydia, right?
Yeah. Because she's oddly attached to this child she's known for 2 weeks.
A few months.
It's only... Oh, yeah, it has been months.
Yeah, but it's funny because Adam finally fixes his face and he walks around and goes, no, Lydia, it's fine. You guys can stay here. He's got this big fucking nose. And it's a real classic classic moment of Adam, fix your face. Because Lydia starts laughing at him and he does this thing where he basically just pushes his nose right in.
Is it Adam, fix your face, a classic moment, Adam, fix your face, because you've heard that a lot, or?
Maybe. I was a sarcastic ass as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm not anymore. I'm a very mature adult.
Really?
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah. You guys know.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Fix your face.
Duh.
By the way, Dudley Moore was the other actor, was the second person that Tim Burton wanted to get for Beetlejuice.
Dudley Moore.
Who's Dudley Moore?
He was the butler
What?
in
How
Overboard.
I feel like we need to talk about how you know this. But also, he would have brought the energy.
He was also in, back to what we were talking about earlier, he was in 4 of the 5 original Planet of the Apes films.
I could have seen that.
He also produced Overboard. That was his fucking movie.
Great movie.
He didn't direct it.
And Beetlejuice also was supposed to look different in the original. The original script apparently had him as a tall, black-winged demon that could transform into a small Middle Eastern man.
Oh, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Oh, no. In the 80s? Oh, no.
That would have been real bad.
That would have offended everybody. They made the right choice. Otho and Charles bring Maxie upstairs, and they take the model, they disassemble it a little bit, and they bring it downstairs, which I would have loved to have seen, because it breaks into 4 pieces, and they carry it down that narrow staircase. That means they have this thing turned
With
sideways.
2 people.
2 people.
But like, what gets me is
It
like
is cardboard and foam.
Still.
I love how hard they struggle
tongue
to
oil.
take it apart. I think it's so funny.
They just take it apart, don't they?
Well, they struggle to find
They
where it
struggle a
connects
little
and
bit.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause, well, it just takes apart. It just pops off right here.
Yeah, but it's like such an unnecessary moment of seeing the struggle.
Well,
but the
also-
fact they left it in makes it like a little.
They might have
sweeter.
actually struggled to get the damn whatever it was. They may have
Yeah.
actually struggled to get the movie prop down.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I think
right.
Lydia also hides in this moment with the Maitlands, doesn't she? They don't want them to know that she's
Yeah.
in the attic.
Maybe,
They
yeah.
duck down behind
Yeah.
something. They're downstairs, and Charles is pitching a like ghost museum kind of idea to Max, and Max is kind of like not having it because he doesn't believe there are ghosts there yet. Like he wants to make God, I forget. He wants to convert
The
different
whole
locations
town
of the
into
town.
he wants to turn it into a whole big tourist spot.
Yes,
for
because
the
he even mentions
supernatural.
the hardware store can be
Yep.
a certain particular location in the amusement park esque
Yep.
plan. They're asking. They tell Lydia to bring the ghosts downstairs. She goes, I can't bring them downstairs. They do what they want, and they don't want to come down here. And this is where they finally have the idea for the exorcism, and they use the wedding dress and the tuxedo.
Because they're like, hey, we need something of theirs to do this exorcism. And Delia's like, I know just the thing.
Well,
Yep.
Lydia was like, well, you'll have to go to Goodwill. Which is funny how she kept the wedding dress and tuxedo. I find
Yeah.
that very interesting. Because remember in the closet, she
Yeah.
shoved it aside. So why did she keep these 2 things?
Probably
Yeah.
forgot.
Plot convenience.
True. Also, do you think the hardware store came with the house?
No. They definitely had to be 2 separate property sailings. Because they're so far apart.
Not necessarily.
You think
'Cause
they're
he
like
owned the
entailed?
hardware store.
Adam might have owned that.
I feel like he did.
Yeah, but like I feel like if I were to die or yeah, if I were to die and you were also dead conveniently.
Not convenient for me.
Unconveniently, sorry.
Your business and your house, personal would be
yeah,
separate.
my car and the house are going to be two separate
True.
entailments.
That's
They're two separate assets.
Okay. Well, maybe it's the fact that no one's bought the hardware store yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just sitting there abandoned. Otho is doing this exorcism, and it is basically bringing Barbara from upstairs. She turned transparent. Adam can no longer touch her, and she also can't. She can't speak, and she gets basically teleported into her wedding dress, and it kind of inflates on the table, and then her head pops up through it. It's great practical effect work.
Do we think
good.
like she popped up first because she died first?
Oh,
Good question. I don't know.
Which is a little.
well, no, because Otho called for her first when
Oh,
he did when he recited this stuff. He said, I think the bride first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's saying this long, almost like a poem.
Yeah, pretty much.
It rhymes in certain spots, and then it starts happening to Adam.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time he gets popped into his tux, Barbara has withered.
Yeah, Barbara's like crusting over.
She looks like the ghosts that were in the exorcised spirit room, and they, death. It's death for the dead. And Adam grabs her hand. It's a puppet hand. It's like a skeleton. And when she grips his hand, just a bunch of skin flakes off, like
Which is
dust.
gross, yeah.
It's pretty gross. Lydia's standing there saying, "Stop! You're killing them." And Max is like, "They're already dead. They're fine. Calm down."
A real random moment that this reminded me of. It reminded me of Scooby-Doo, a straight to DVD video or moment. Like, I can't remember which one. I want to say it might be Zombie Island, but like it reminded me of that.
Well, at the end of that movie, don't the cat people turn into skeletons
I think so.
once the spell is broken?
Yeah.
Because they're hundreds of years old. They age instantly.
Yeah, and it looks like that.
You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of...
The chocolate lady from SpongeBob.
Yes.
Oh, that is a great one, though.
Yes.
I remember when they invented Beetlejuice. I hated it. No, it always makes me think of... or the guy's name. But the guy from the end of Indiana Jones 3. It's like, he chose poorly. And he's like,
Yeah.
what's happening to me? And he turns into a skeleton guy. Lydia runs upstairs to tell Beetlejuice to help. And this is where we finally see him in his trademark black and white striped suit. And he's just like sitting on a gravestone. It looks like he's filing his nails.
Aren't they their gravestones, though?
I didn't notice that.
Is it theirs?
I didn't know.
I asked Jimmy that yesterday.
Oh, hold on. I'm about to Google that.
I couldn't see the names.
Because remember, he made their funeral. And that, remember at the beginning of the movie, he's like, I don't know what they look like.
Hold on. I'm looking that up.
Yeah. That'd be awesome, though, because he was just, like, chilling on top of the gravestones. Just
They
like,
were about to die.
yeah, you need me now.
He's just like, damn.
Knocking on death's door.
It's like you're getting exercised. Fucking Otho, he would do a fucking exorcism.
Ortho knows a guy.
He's got experience with it.
Yeah.
Also, we have been butchering this guy's name. Well, excuse me, they have been butchering
Otho.
this guy's name. It is Otho.
My bad. My bad.
It is not Ortho.
Don't let me drink a whole bottle of wine.
Shout out.
Don't blame
let
us.
You?
This episode sponsored by Ortho.
Stop.
I'm not gonna let
Shout out.
Otho is my favorite character though. Like I love that man. Like that's a man.
Oh
who-
my God, he is sitting on their gravestone.
Yes.
Yes. Etta was right.
Wow.
I had to find 4 separate photos, and one had high enough resolution to read Barbara.
Nice.
And he's just sitting there like filing his nails, and she's like, "All right, what's the?" He goes, "We got to make a deal. I can only be out if I'm married, technically."
He's like it's like a green card situation.
I think he describes it as a marriage of convenience.
Yeah.
Yep.
'Cause he's gonna-
Inconvenience, I think, actually.
Yeah, because he said he's gonna marry Lydia.
It's like it's a marriage of inconvenience. You get out, you get to be married to the most eligible
This
bachelor since
reminded
Valentino
me-
came over.
Is that what he says?
Yes.
Say that one more time.
He said it's a marriage of inconvenience. I get to get out, and you get to say that you're hitched to the most eligible bachelor since Valentino came over.
Who's Valentino?
I don't know.
He's referring to Rudy Valentino, the Italian actor of Hollywood cinema in the 1920s, who was nicknamed the Latin Lover.
Oh yeah, but he was Italian. Oh wait, you did say Italian. You're
Yeah.
right.
Considered a heartthrob and died in 1926.
I remember he got stabbed to death or shot to death. Something. He was really popular. He was died in New York, if I'm not mistaken. New York or L.A.
His name was Rudolph Valentino.
Yeah. It was a Bowery Boys podcast episode. Shout out to one of my favorite podcasts, Bowery Boys.
Lydia finally agrees to say his name, and Beetlejuice, he puts the what looks like a nail file back in his coat. He like straightens his jacket, and he's just sitting there patiently on the gravestone. And she says his name 3 times, and he's just like, it's showtime.
And then you hear his iconic theme song.
Yes, you finally hear it.
The full version.
He pops out of the floor downstairs, and he comes out, funny enough, with like bat wing ears. The very next year, he played Batman.
You think it was a reference? They probably had him cast. Yeah, they probably already been filming. You think that's why he was in it so little? You think they cast him for Batman first and was like, I really like this guy.
I don't know.
Let's
They
put
probably
him in
filmed this
one.
movie in '87. They probably filmed Batman 88.
Do you think they were filming that close?
I mean,
It's
they're
possible.
a year apart.
Well, yeah, Batman
in
did
release.
come out the next year, so.
I mean, back in the day, they'd probably release a movie or film a movie and release it in a year.
Okay. I mean, because like now, you know.
Now it takes 2 years just for CGI. So he pops out of the floor, and there's also now carnival music. And Maxie and his wife walk out, and they're like, oh, man, this is some trick. And he's like, step right up. How hard can you hit? And he unrolls his arms. His arms look like those little party blowers.
Yep.
And they unroll, and Max and his wife don't realize behind them that those strength measuring bell things pop up. Mm-hmm. And his arms inflate into hammers, and he lifts them, and he drops them right there, and Max and his wife get shot right through the ceiling, and they are out of the movie.
They are gone.
I was like, they're dead.
Oh my god.
He killed them. And
out of the movie and also out of this universe.
And then he was like, this is why I don't do 2 shows in a row.
yeah, he's got a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I don't do 2 shows a night. Otho's trying to leave, and there's another thing where he jumps on his back. He goes, we're going to have some fun. And what he does to Otho, I'm a little confused by, because he just basically puts a spotlight on him, and he rips his black suit off, and he's now wearing a blue suit. I assumed that
He's scared of pastels?
it was a fashion,
thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otho is scared of wearing that much color. Or whatever it's made out of.
He was always in like dark colors,
Yeah.
dark red.
Yes. And Otho runs out, and I believe that's the last time we see Otho in the movie.
Yes.
I don't think he comes back.
The end of the movie is very near.
Yes. Oh, we're right there. This is where he turns to the Dietzes. He goes, Mom, Dad.
Yes.
And he says something about marrying Lydia, and he's like, we need
Witnesses.
and her sculptures come to life and grab them.
And the antler sculpture pinned her again.
Yes, the one that pinned her to the
But
wall
it
earlier.
hits her from reverse?
Now it hugs her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now she's like strapped in like a roller coaster.
But then her hat also goes over her eyes.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
she
yeah.
can't see
She can't.
anything.
She's not a good witness.
Yeah.
Charles gets wrapped up by, I think, the sculpture that she tells the guy earlier that she made. Mm-hmm. And suddenly Lydia is in this big, gaudy red dress.
I will give Beetlejuice credit. He did kind of cohere to her sense of fashion, though.
And it also matches his red tux.
Yeah.
Even though it looks awful.
It looks, I like the cut. It just doesn't look good on him.
Yeah, because, it's Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Like, he doesn't have the fit for it. But the way it looks, I'm like, this is a nice little cut.
But the fireplace opens up into a doorway, and this little alien-looking
I love
minister
that
comes out.
man. He's so cute.
Little E.T.
Yeah.
Shriveled E.T.
It gave me strong E.T. vibes.
Yeah.
E.T. vibe. The little minister guy is played by Tony Cox.
Who dat?
Yeah.
No one?
No.
I'm terrible with names.
I'm gonna show you his picture.
I thought that's what it was.
Tony Cox. Okay.
Wow.
That man is aging like fine wine.
I thought
Tony
that's
Cox.
who it was, but I wasn't sure.
When Beetlejuice pops out, he actually interrupts the exorcism. He stops it. That was the deal.
Yep.
So they drop, and they're puppets. These 2 emaciated puppets fall and hit the floor like a bag of bones. And Adam slowly starts to regain his composure, and he gets up and he starts saying Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice zaps him back into the model next to the red truck that he crashed earlier.
Yes.
And
Did he knock his teeth out first?
oh my God, yes!
Yes.
He pulls his teeth out and he's trying to step on
He
him.
ran
Yeah.
up and he's like, Beetle, and he's like,
He's like
nope.
tap dancing across the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. They're
His
like,
teeth popped out.
yes, I forgot about that.
And I'm
Yes, the
sitting
teeth
here
pop out.
thinking, why can Beetlejuice do so much shit?
The extent of his powers.
This dude can do so many fucking things.
Yeah.
He's more like a poltergeist. He's less of a ghost and more of a poltergeist.
Maybe that's why maybe he's getting the poltergeist and exorcist mixed up. Maybe he's seen the poltergeist 176 times.
Now that Barbara has regained her composure, she gets up and...
Let's go back to the teeth flying out of the truck, because he's like dancing his way trying to step on it. And
Yeah,
that really
just-
gets me.
just tap
He's like,
dancing.
ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Yeah.
Also, they were taking forever, and
Because like
Beetlejuice.
Barbara's like sitting there trying to get herself together.
But there's also the part where the
Why
minister...
didn't Lydia say anything? Because he's not holding her mouth anymore.
He has her not being able to speak. Because during the ceremony, he speaks for her.
Yeah, but then I thought he just put his hand over her mouth. Did he like do something to her mouth?
But she also is the one who made the deal.
So she can't say.
So
anything.
she might not be able to back out of it.
She just stopped her from talking somehow.
Okay.
Could be that.
Yeah.
But when he asks for the rings, Beetlejuice reaches into his coat and he pulls out a severed finger. And he goes, "Oh, she meant nothing to me." And he just pulls this ring off this finger. And in the trailer for the new movie, there's a shot of Monica Bellucci's character, and you see her hands clearly, and it looks like she's missing a finger.
She is. That's the plot of the second movie, is that his wife comes back for him.
Right.
And that was her finger.
Barbara tries to say Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm. She takes her sweet ass time.
No, but this is the other part that really I thought was really funny, because when she says his name, he just goes, "Ee!"
Oh yeah, I love that part.
And then he just slaps that metal plate over
No,
her
he
mouth.
does the zipper first.
Oh, he does do a zipper first. When she
And
says
then
she unzips it.
it.
Yes.
And then he winds it up like a baseball throw and ting.
Metal plate.
Yeah.
And now she's got a metal plate on her mouth, and she spends like the rest of the scene trying to get this metal plate off.
Yeah, I'm just like, what?
It's like, ma'am, you have nails.
And then he just goes, and she teleports to Saturn.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they could move their, like, why did they just not makeshift their face to put her mouth somewhere else?
I mean, it might be the fact that
They have to like do the power, like they're still coming back to life, so they don't have their full power set yet.
I assumed it was because he's more powerful than them.
That's fair.
Maybe after he threw the metal plate on her mouth, she couldn't open her fucking mouth. Because there were bolts in that shit.
She couldn't move it. It's not like she can just like move her mouth around it. It is covering her mouth.
Huh.
But I always just assumed Beetlejuice is stronger than them.
And they were still figuring out their powers.
Right.
You reckon like the older
And
you
his
get,
powers are clearly different.
Oh, yeah.
The bastard can do all kind of shit.
the older you get, the more powerful you get, like vampires and Vampire Diaries.
Could be.
Probably.
Or it could be like the Vincent Schiavelli ghost in the movie Ghost. Patrick Swayze is in that movie. He's dead. He can't interact with anything. Vincent Schiavelli is on this train just fucking with everything he wants.
Never seen that.
And he teaches Patrick Swayze how to interact with the living world.
Is that the one with Demi Moore and Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did she win that Oscar?
No idea. When Barbara is on Saturn, there's a worm coming at her, and she just sucker punches this worm.
Like a shark!
Yes. And the next time we see her, she's riding the worm. Presumably, she rode it through space, and she crashes down through the roof of the house, and the worm eats Beetlejuice.
You think the insurance covered that?
No.
I think everything went back to normal after the ghost went away.
Oh, okay.
It's all the ghost magic.
I mean, the mantle fireplace thing just poofs.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
goes
and they
away.
get their weird, gross
Tony Cox just vanishes.
Yeah.
wallpaper.
That's later.
Oh.
And then it transitions to like a bright summer day, and this is the first time we see Lydia away from the house.
Mm-hmm.
She's leaving school.
With her normal hair,
Yeah, and she's also wearing just a schoolgirl outfit.
which is also still 8.
And
terrible bangs.
she gets home and she's like, I got my grades, and the fucking Maitlands, who are ghosts, are redecorating this house. They're covering all the awful gray stone wall work up with wallpaper again.
Which was weird, that gray wall.
I mean, I'm not saying I like it, but I'm saying if I'm a weird abstract artist,
I hated
maybe.
it. I thought it looked awful.
It reminded me of like a child's like rock play area.
Yeah, it did. It really did. They're like, oh, well, what'd you get on your English test? She goes, I got an A. And like, what'd you get on your math test? And she kind of like looks down. And Adam's like, We studied for that all week. These ghosts are helping this girl with her grades.
Like, she doesn't have parents of her own.
Right, the ghosts are taking better care of this kid than her parents are.
Right.
I mean, they weren't taking care of her.
No. But she goes, I got an A. Or she got a B. She got a B. It wasn't
I
as
thought
good
that
as
was
they-
science.
Science, sorry.
Science was a B.
And
No, science was a C because she wouldn't dissect the frog.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
right.
makes
You're right.
sense.
You're right.
So-
And she's like, can we do it?
Can we do that?
Can we do the thing?
This is a weird thing to ask for.
And
though,
Adam,
too.
Right.
Adam's like, I don't know. And Barbara's the one that's like, Adam, come on. The thing is, she wants to be puppeted and lifted off the ground, and they start singing the O'Day song again. Mm-hmm. And it's playing real loud, and then we get the shot of Charles up in his office reading a book called it's called Living with the Deceased, written by the author of the recently deceased handbook. And this is where he has the line of, this reads like stereo instructions. And instantly he goes, oh, Lydia must have passed her math test. And Delia brings in this sculpture and puts it right in his face. And it's the snake head from earlier in the movie.
Yep.
And he just falls back and he screams. And she goes, he loves it. And she walks out of the room. And you can see up on the mantle above his desk, there's like a magazine cover with her art on it. And her and her art on it. Mm-hmm. So she made a magazine cover.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So her art is starting to do something, or that's old?
I mean, it looked progressively better.
Yeah.
Yes. It did look better. It looked like that she's finally not using the house as a way to express her awful taste.
Maybe she's getting like inspiration from the weirdness, the absurdity of the dead.
Or maybe she just stopped listening to Ortho. Maybe he's the terrible artist.
There's no way. Ortho is amazing.
Otho?
Otho?
Sir, Otho is amazing.
But that's the last thing we see with Lydia and them. They're all happy. They're living their good lives. And we see Beetlejuice is now in the waiting room. So I guess when she said his name and brought him into the land of the living, he came back as a living person.
I have no idea. I was actually going to ask that. Like, how did he die over again?
Yeah, now he's dead again, and he's in the waiting room, and he's got a real long ticket number.
Yeah.
And the guy next to him has like a single digit number. Four. And they're at like 3. And he tries to distract the guy, and he swaps numbers. You know,
He's like, oh, there's Elvis.
yeah,
Hey, yo, King.
yeah. He's like, oh, looks like I'm next. And the guy takes out some powder and sprinkles it on his head because he was asking him how they do that because he's sitting next to the shrunken head guy.
It's so small.
Yeah, and his head's shrinking. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, I like this look. This could work for me. Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's the scene. That's literally where it comes
That's what it is. It ends with the shrunken head thing. So, what do you guys think? You guys like this movie?
Yeah, fun fact about this movie and me. I'd never seen this movie up until last year, but I had seen the cartoon.
I also seen the cartoon.
Big fan of the cartoon. And so, like, finding out Beetlejuice was the villain was a weird moment for me.
Yeah, they completely changed. Well, they changed him up a lot for the
Yeah,
cartoon.
because he was just like a nice, friendly, like,
Ghost?
yes, like in the sense of like
Poltergeist?
the same way Casper is in the cartoon,
Mm-hmm.
where you're just like,
Well,
Maybe
hey.
I did not see this.
He and Lydia are best friends in the cartoon.
Yeah, so
Oh.
like,
Kids cartoon.
like
Adam and Barbara aren't in it.
finding out that Beetlejuice was the villain of this movie, I was like, what the fuck was that?
So the
I feel like it's
Beetlejuice
on.
cartoon, the opening sequence, you get to hear the theme song like literally every time the cartoon comes on. So the fact that you only hear it like once in the fucking movie is just like, it's weird.
Yeah. I have to watch that.
It's a good cartoon. Like that, it's how I remembered it. That being said, I really liked it. I enjoy this movie.
It's a good movie.
I plan to watch it again this Halloween.
Yeah.
And
Every Halloween.
Lydia is 12 in the cartoon.
ooh,
Well, in the cartoon, they are just BFFs. He's not trying to marry her.
But anybody who saw the movie and didn't saw the cartoon, they knew. Like, wait a goddamn minute, dog.
Wow.
maybe that made it like extra uncomfortable because I was every time we were trying to marry her, I was like,
Beetlejuice needs to be in Beetle jail.
But I like this movie. It's fun. I like the fact that it's only 90 minutes. It's a quick watch.
quick.
If it was any longer than this, I think it would have been too much. I think we get just the right amount of Beetlejuice in it, too.
I think like what also makes this movie really good is nothing is wasted in this movie. Like every moment serves a purpose, and I think that's pretty good.
I
It-
could have used more Beetlejuice.
No,
Yeah.
no. Because he's really creepy now.
He's great. Michael Keaton is great as Beetlejuice, but I think that they use him just the right amount.
I think if this movie was made today, they would overuse. Like, I fear they're gonna overuse him in this new movie.
It's possible.
I don't have high hopes for it. I am excited for it, but I don't have high hopes for the new one being good.
Yeah.
But I do plan on seeing it.
Promotional material is pretty fucking good though. Having the release date be on the long ass waiting number.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
And if they make a third one, it's just going to be Beetlejuice, Beetle. Don't say it.
That being said, I think the plot is literally he's trying to marry Lydia's daughter.
Oh, that was my guess too. And from the look of some of the shots in the trailer, my guess is either that Jenna Ortega is going to release Beetlejuice, or Catherine O'Hara is going to release him.
I fucking love Catherine.
Because in the scene, it looks like he's coming up out of the model in the attic, and Catherine O'Hara is standing in front of him.
I hope Catherine O'Hara leans more towards Maura in this one.
I really like this movie.
Same. I think everybody really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Fun fact: Beetlejuice won 3 Saturn Awards.
Wow, that's relevant.
Yep. The movie won.
What's a Saturn Award?
No idea.
The Saturn Awards is it's an award for science fiction, horror, and
Yeah, because the Oscars do not recognize horror.
yeah, science.
They
fiction.
might be starting now that Lupita Nyong'o's like sweeping it. She's killing it.
It started in 1973. There are awards for science fiction, fantasy, and horror.
Nice.
And Beetlejuice won 3 Saturn Awards. One was for best horror film. One was for what was it?
I don't think of this movie as a horror film.
I don't think this movie would win an Oscar. Is it good? Yes. Do I think it will win an Oscar?
It wouldn't win an Oscar.
No, it's not. I don't think it's an Oscar-worthy film.
Best
but
makeup. Best. Y'all were talking about
Yeah,
how good Beetlejuice looked.
Yeah.
And then the other one was for best supporting actress. You'll never guess who it was.
Catherine O'Hara.
It was Juno.
Yeah, you know what?
Nice.
No. Yes.
Yes.
She deserves it. She was killing it.
Absolutely.
Best supporting actress.
Yes.
Was Juno. Best makeup and best horror.
Oh,
film.
she was doing fantastic. Doing the Lord's work, honestly.
All right, so anyone ready to take a guess on how much a movie ticket would have cost us in 1988?
$250.
$6.50.
$4.
Ooh, Etta is so close.
Damn.
$4.11.
Oh my goodness.
I should be keeping track of who wins these and give someone a prize at the end.
Should give him like a fake movie ticket award.
All right, so next week we are going to be talking about... Hey, gang. Editor Adam here. I know we said next week. Our next episode will be in 2 weeks. Sorry, we keep saying 1 week. We're working on that. But due to a scheduling conflict, our next episode is going to be Cocaine Bear. We hope you join us for that conversation. I think it's going to be a fun time, and we'll see you guys there. We've been Getting to the Theater. I'm Adam.
I'm Erica.
I'm Etta.
I'm Jeremy.
We'll see you guys next time.